What's going on, everybody? What's going on, everybody? What's going on, everybody? What's going on, everybody? Bel papelon, bel. Yo, Dawn, I appreciate the donation yesterday. Meant to tell you that today. All right, Chanel in the building. All right, Miss Douglas, Mrs. Walker, Limbo Child. All right, alrighty, all right. Listen, guys, I just want to talk about the midheaven right quick. Okay, I posted. Somebody tweeted. Matter of fact, let me put that bitch up. Let me put that bitch up. Oh, damn. I can't even. Alright, fuck it. Alright, but basically, somebody said. Golden Confucius in the building. Golden Confucius in the building, man. Alright, so look. Somebody had tweeted, your 10th house is your mission. All right. Your 10th house is your mission. All right. This is why I'm pretty articulate with my tweets. Because, I just don't like tweeting things like that. Because it's like, all right, what the fuck do I look at? What do I do? The 10th house? What do I do with it? Like, how do I really, it's my mission. Okay. There's Cancer in there. That's all I know. What do I do? It's supposed to go. Am I supposed to go on a mission with my mom? Am I supposed to be breastfeeding somebody or something? So I like to be as specific as possible. All right. And when we look at the 10th house, whenever y'all see an astrologer or you read anything and it says your 5th house is this. Your 5th house is like how you like to have sex. Your 1st house is how you express yourself. Your 8th house is how you deal with transformation and death. When y'all hear tweets like that, you have to understand where that house lord is at is gonna have a lot to do with that. So with that person tweeting your 10th house is your 10th house, aka your midheaven, is your mission. When we look at the house lord of that house, that's where the mission is cooking. That's that settled subconscious influence you done had your whole life to build something in that house, to brand something in that house. Okay, now. The sign in the house are gonna influence possibly how you do some things in career, how you go about doing it, but the mission itself is gonna be the house. So, first off, for people that just to get things situated, a house lord, house ruler is simply the planet that rules a sign in the house. That's all it is, y'all. Don't get too confused with that. Don't get too confused with that. If you have multiple signs in a house, all right, the sign that the house starts in, that's the planet that rules that sign, that's going to be the ruler. All right. So with your midheaven, the sign in the midheaven, you have to understand, for one, this is going to be projected on top of your social status, how people may perceive you, how people may describe you to others in the world. A lot of your career pursuits may be influenced by the sign here. Things you may have gained popularity and notoriety may have to deal with some of the themes of that zodiac sign. But when it comes to our quote unquote mission, because y'all got, all right, put it like this. It's like, Malcolm X may have had a job or whatnot. Like, Malcolm X may have him teaching his ministry, may have got him paid, got him stable. So he got the stability and security part. But what the fuck was his mission though? What was he trying to establish and brand, and make concrete with his legacy? That's the 10th house. If we want to talk about money, security, how to maximize different opportunities to make money in your life, that shit really comes down to the 2nd house. That shit really comes down to the 2nd house. And honestly, guys, like, I don't try to make shit sound cliche. And, especially when spiritualists, astrologers, and tarot readers talk about money, y'all look at us like, all right, where your bread at? Shit, I got every motherfucking thing I need out this bitch. Best believe that. And when it comes to money, all of that shit is energy work. Y'all gotta understand, that shit is energy work. If you know how to put a price on something you value, you won't be worrying about bread. I repeat, if you know how to take something that you value and find ways to show the world that you value it, and then start to connect to other people who value that, and you can put a price on that, aka you can know your worth for the energy you're putting in to expressing something with a value, or helping others dealing with that thing that you may value, you're going to get to your bread. You're going to get to your security and stability in this realm. All right? But when we're talking about what you're here to establish as your legacy, what you're here, what the things you want people to say about you when you transition, the things you want to be remembered by, a lot of that's going to be 10th house energies. So what happens here is, regardless of the sign in your 10th house, the ruler of your 10th house is constantly going through experiences in the house that is in that always have potential to get you to be known for something. So that's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to talk about right now. So y'all could gain more clarity as to how universe been putting certain things in your face to help you brand yourself a certain way in the world, to help you, structure some form of status in some type of shape or form in the world. It's one thing making money from something, is another thing developing a brand. Those are two different things. Income is one thing, a brand is a whole nother thing. We all are here to develop some type of brand within our life. So, first things first, let's say you have the 10th house lord in the first house. It don't matter what you do. You can be an artist, you could be a teacher, you could be a motherfucking, it don't matter what you do with the 10th house lord in the first house. Part of your quote-unquote mission here and strong influences in career is going to be to express a personal ideal. So you could be a YouTuber, a vlogger, an artist. There's going to be something that you have a strong personal ideal about, and you're always going to be called for that to be, for you to brand that, for you to have that be shunned upon. You feel me? The first house deals with how you personally express yourself, and it deals with our personal interests. So you're always going to have influences, if you have the 10th house lord in the first house, to make that thing you personally interested in something that you could possibly motherfucking be known for. You might already have a brand or notoriety for this shit. You may have a loud personality with the 10th house lord in the first house. That's what you may be known for, period. If you have the 10th house lord in the first house, you may be known for your personality. A lot of people, a lot of YouTubers, vloggers, radio personalities, anything with a personality, if you having 10th house lord in the first house. So it's not the fact, is the 10th house lord first house wasn't pushing you to work at that radio station. It was pushing you to be in a position for your personality to shine, for your personality to be felt. This is your mission, 10th house lord in the first house. This is your mission. A nigga like Kevin Samuels might have had 10th house lord in the first house. For real. He came in this bitch with some strong ass individual ideals about dating. So what he talking about is something we all could relate to, but he has strong ass personal ideals about something. 10th house lord in the first house, people, you're going to feel a push. You're going to manifest situations, circumstances in your life for you to create a platform, a brand, or put yourself in position where your personality in some type of shape or form can thrive, and you can brand yourself off your personality, your personal interests, or you put yourself in a position where your personal ideals, things that you feel strongly on, because what is the first house is your personal outlook in the world. Okay? Your first house is your personal outlook in the world. So some of the things that you have an outlook on is obviously going to contrast from the ways other people look at things. But with the 10th house in the first house, you always going to manifest influences for you to get that out there. Even if your shit sound crazy. Even if your shit... And guys, universe, this is life. Universe has an ongoing way of pushing you. So it could be at the workplace. You having a conversation about something you were passionate about in the workplace. Something you personally believe in, your coworker tell you this, that, and the third. Maybe you should write an ebook about that shit. Maybe you should make posts about that shit. Or you get in a position where, your personality your personality thrived in some type of shape or form, or people wanted you to come back to a certain place, or you were back invited somewhere because your personality, it be shit like that universe is consistently using to get you to be like, yo, you need to invest in your personality from more of a, career perspective, from more of a legacy perspective, being known for the things that you personally into. A lot of people with this alignment, you manifest opportunities because your personality. But that's the thing, it's a square. The first house squares the 10th house. So it's going to be friction learning how to do this. AKA, while you're building stability in the 10th house, a lot of the times you may feel friction to do things personally or individually in the 10th house. You may be the one that could actually be more. You could be the one that could develop more progress in the workplace if you decided to do things more personally, more individually in the workplace, but you may always feel friction to do that. So that's where the challenge is at. That's the challenge with this placement. You having some balls to say, I'm going to let my personality be seen. That's the challenge with this placement, to be dead honest with y'all. To be dead. Some people have energies that support them to take more risk and be more riskier. Some people have energies that support them to be more safe, to deal with more security and results. So if you have the 10th house lord in the first house and you don't have a lot of fucking energy, I'm gonna just be seen. I don't care about you gotta be able to be critiqued with this placement. If you can't deal with critique, well, you will go through some challenges in the 10th house. So that's 10th house lord in the first house, man. Your personality on its own, or the things you're really personally invested in, your personal interests. These are you supposed to put yourself in a position to be an example of those things, or to be a vessel to express and radiate energies about that personal interest. And all the opportunities you manifest in your life, you're not even gonna be able to see them shits right now. You're not even gonna be able to see them. All right. And that's the funny thing about our aspirations. We think we know what type of things we can manifest or make a lot of money. You don't know who you finna meet, how your life could change with you just making a decision to devote yourself to something you're passionate about. You don't know what the fuck gonna happen. You don't know who gonna discover you, this, that, and the third. Anyway, so that's 10th house lord in the first house. 10th house lord in the second house. The second house is your value system. The people, Dodo, what's going on? The people, places, and things that you value are going to be constructed out of your second house. So this is a powerful alignment here. This is a real powerful alignment because they both earth houses. So what happens here is this person, they're already they may manifest situations where they start to become known for things that they value. You start to become known for this shit. So let's say you young, let's say by the time you was in your teenage years, 13, 14, you valued your diet and what you put in your system and health. This is something you just is a strong value. Your parents, your siblings know you don't be eating anything. People be asking like, yo, your sister in the crib, like you be like, yeah, like, Yo, she gonna make them smoothies today? Cause I know she be on that health shit, whatnot. I know that's her shit. So they know you value that. And if you got the 10th house or in the second house, this is gonna be something that it gets spread very quick. It gets spread very quick. People start to gain, people with this alignment start to gain a lot of notoriety or become known in their area at school, in their neighborhood, for things that they really value. This could be belief systems. This could be things that you do in your life to help you with personal development or help you build security and stability that you value. Now, the second house is one of the most creative houses in the zodiac. Second house deal with our talents. The second house deal with what we value within ourselves. So that would be our talents, the things we feel like we're good at, the things we feel like we're knowledgeable about. Anything that you feel like you could have of service to the world, that you could put a price on and people could charge you to either learn from you or you could do for them. That's a second house trait. So these are things that you're going to gain influences in the world. Universe is going to make sure universe is going to make sure in some type of shape or form people see this from you. People pick up on this from you. Another thing y'all got to understand about the 10th house is the highest part of the chart. So this is why we call it the midheaven. It's the highest point of the chart. So just by default, this is how people see you. This is part of social status. People going to throw on you before they even know you. People describe you by this energy. All right. So when you have this energy in the second house, your value system becomes something that you either become known for, and then this is something you start to feel like you need to build more pursuits around. Okay. So if you value animal care, right? Taking care of the animals in the world, protecting extinct animals, right? This is literally one of your true values here. People with like Neptune and shit and Jupiter in this house be having values like that. They care about a lot of shit in the world. But let's say that's what you value. When you got the 10th house Lord in the second house, this is going to be something that you're going to want to build pursuits around to really make it something that's a foundation. You build a foundation for animals. You know, this is something that over time, you're going to want to look back and see, what have I established, you know, in my 10th house? Either how have I branded myself? What type of business or form of stability have I created in order to create more of a foundation for what I value? So maybe I made this charity over here. You know, I branded this charity. I took what I value, you know, I incorporated it into this charity, and now this charity is doing so much for animals across the world. That's your mission right there. Building some foundation for what is it you value with the 10th house Lord in the second house. Okay? So that's that. 10th house Lord in the third house. Now, if you got the 10th house Lord in the third house, you can become known. You may already have some form of notoriety, or people describe you in some type of shape or form for things dealing with people, relationships, your communication methods. You know, you may be really recognized amongst people for the way you communicate. The way you communicate could open up a lot of opportunities in career. You could be, just based off of how you communicate in your career, in your job, that opens up opportunities for you to reach different positions with your ability to deal with different faces and places, deal with different individuals, know how to change up your communication methods to adapt to different parties. People gonna take notice to that shit with the 10th house Lord in the third house. So this is gonna be something that you gain notoriety for. This is something that within your brand, things that you do for business, it creates a lot of opportunities, because you'll be able to branch off and do different things, because you might be able to connect to so many different type of people with the 10th house Lord in the third house. The third house deals with communication, ideas, your pastimes, things you've learned in your local neighborhood, in your early surroundings, in your adolescent stages in life. So if you got the 10th house Lord in the third house, you're gonna be able to take things you're familiar with, take things that you've learned, take certain ideals, take things that you were taught, and you go have the power to be able to spread messages here with the 10th house Lord in the third house. People most likely already have a way of adapting or resonating with the way you communicate things. You most likely are seen as somebody that can make things understood for a lot of different people with the 10th house Lord in the third house, you know? So, like I said, you might be moved in positions at work where you always put in a position where the position you work in, you the hostess or whatever, you somebody that got to communicate with a lot of different people in there, with a lot of different people in the building. Okay. But because the third house deals with your ideas, your ideals, things you've been taught, right? Especially in your adolescent stages, things you learn in your neighborhood, things you learn from your siblings, your friends, how you analyze relationships early in life. These are all things that could blow up in your 10th house. So you expressing your ideals about things with relationships, or you just making sure certain third house is your thoughts, you know, your thoughts and things that stimulate how you things that you've experienced that stimulate certain ideals, you know, within the third house. We all have things that we experience in our third house that developed ways we look at people, ways we look at relationships, ways we look at the construct of society based off our third house. You feel me? I grew up in the hood. So it's just so me growing up in the motherfucking hood developed a whole lot of different ideals of how I looked at society. You growing up in fucking Beverly Hills is going to construct a whole different way of looking at society than I fucking do. All right? So that's how the 10th house Lord and the third house play out. Your ideals, your ability to communicate certain ideals, things things dealing with relationships, people, and your ideas about relationships in society, these things leave legacy in your 10th house. You may be influenced to build foundation around things dealing with relationships or people. Or a lot of people with the 10th house Lord, last thing here, a lot of people with this alignment, 10th house Lord in the 3rd house, they know how to build stability in their environment, or they're going to be influenced to do so. So these are people that's very charitable in their environment. These are people that know how to circulate energy in their immediate environment and bring some stability and security there in some type of shape or form. You know, these people may be more comfortable working in their familiar environment for real, or in closer surroundings or whatnot, and they may have a huge impact in a local sense. You know, a lot of y'all might be really popular in y'all neighborhood. Fuck am I talking about? It's the 3rd house. 10th house on the 3rd house. Y'all might be real popular in the 3rd house. You might manifest opportunities to make money just because you know certain people in your 3rd house. All right? But yes, this is a relationship house, and when you have the 10th house Lord in a relationship house, things dealing with interaction with people are always going to come into hand. This is a nice teacher alignment here too. It's a nice teacher alignment here, 10th house Lord in the 3rd house. Okay? Especially teaching about things dealing with childhood trauma, things dealing with habits, breaking habits, things dealing with higher thinking. These are great things to incorporate into your brand, or how you may want to build some type of foundation and career here with the 10th house Lord in the 3rd house. The 3rd house is dealing with your adolescent stages, you know, and what you learned in a lot of these adolescent stages and how it constructed your way to communicate and think with people. So if we go to your YouTube page, your Instagram page, we visit your website, your business page, and you giving us gems on how you experience certain things, certain relationships with your siblings, with your relatives, or with your or things in your neighborhood, and how that started building certain habits or a certain psyche with relationships, and you realize it was negative, and how we need to do work in this way to defeat that, or how it was real subconscious, how we picked up this influence early in life, and how it affects how we think about relations. Like all of that shit right there, people the subscribers, the followers, they gonna come in. You finna get booked for a relationship reading with the 10th house Lord in the 3rd house, because you're going to be real analytical about people. These people, you're going to be real analytical when it comes to people and dealing with understanding how people's environments influence how they communicate and think. All right, so that's very important there. 10th house Lord in the 3rd house. These are also, you know, your news broadcasters, your weather reporters. These are people that are real passionate about bringing light to what's going on in their local surroundings. So these could be real activists like motherfuckers in their neighborhood and whatnot. You know, they fight for shit going on. They fight for acknowledgement and awareness as to what's going on in their local surroundings. Or ultimately, they bring some stability and security to their close surroundings. 10th house Lord in the 4th house. Now, this is an opposite alignment. 10th house deals with stability, security, social status, the external realm, business life, right? Legacy. 4th house deals with the home environment, private life, you know, your relationship with your parents, your children, you know, the home. So when you got the 4th house Lord, the 10th house Lord in the 4th house, this starts to become shit that you known for. You known for being private. you known for things dealing with your inner thoughts, your creativity. Okay, with this alignment, it may be things you try to keep private, you can't keep private. You know, you may have had a chaotic household or a crazy household or whatever. In some type of shape or form, motherfuckers in school know your ass, your home crazy. Know your parents is crazy. Know your siblings is crazy. It's like, why the fuck my family always... why did I come into this realm with a reputation with my family? Like, why am I going to this high school and everybody know me because my brother that's a junior, everybody know I'm her brother or whatever, or this, that, and the third. Like, damn. Family got a strong stain on reputation here. But when we talk about legacy, your mission, you're going to have a strong influence to brand things or establish energies to help people deal with their mental health, with the home environment, with the subconscious. There's going to be a lot of things that you go through within the home environment or with your emotional stability overall, right? or things you had to learn about your mental health, things you had to learn about, your emotional well-being, about emotional transformation, all of these things are going to be things you may feel an influence to brand, to stabilize for people so they could start to build a better home within themselves. Now, this is the thing. With this alignment, you can take so many routes to do this. So you may have wanted to start a holistic health brand, but deep down, you really want people to feel better inside. It's not just about, helping people take care of their health. You want people to feel better inside. You want people to feel more whole. You want people to connect more to the subconscious. So this is another alignment. A lot of teachers, not even really teachers, spiritualists have this placement. All right. People that teach about the subconscious have this placement. A lot of people that deal with things with the home have this placement. So social workers, real estate, home decor, home decorating, all of that shit. A lot of people have the 10th house lord in the 4th house. All right. They are invested in helping building home structure for people mentally, emotionally, or even in a physical sense. These people can build big family business, or they may give birth to a child that becomes famous. 10th house, to a child that either brings a lot of stability to the family or the family itself. These are family YouTubers. You see YouTubers got their whole family in the shit. So it was a relationship YouTube, and then a couples YouTube, and it turned into, now we got all the kids in here and everything. Then the kids got older. They started making YouTube channels. The mother or the father, one of them got the 10th house lord in the 4th house. Y'all got to understand that with the 10th house lord, because the 10th house is the highest point in the chart, and this is like an area people pick up on us before they even connect with us. That means this area is easy to get attention. The 10th house lord is easy to get attention. So if you got the 10th house lord in the 4th house, you may deal with challenges in your life or uncomfortable situations in your life where things that you rather keep private in some type of shape or form, they get exposed, or things in the home start to leave influence on your reputation and shit, for positive or bad or good or bad. You could have an older sibling or something that's like a really good athlete or something, but you suck. They going to college to play basketball, but you suck. So it might be negative in that way because all eyes is on you, but you ass. Can't hoop for shit. Or it could be vice versa. It could be vice versa. You get a lot of attention in your family because everybody know that your sibling this, that, and the third, your older sibling do this, that, and the third. So when they came in, they thought you sucked like him, but you actually you go into the league. You finna get your scholarship for playing basketball. So now it's more intriguing. Like, oh shit, we knew this person beforehand because of their family, of a more private situation in their life. But now when we see what they do, you gained all that attention and awareness, but you talented. You feel me? So now your 10th house brand, how you're known, it started from a 4th house energy, but you was able to manipulate it. So it's shit like that with the 10th house lord in the 4th house. But yeah, these people definitely get into things dealing with counseling and social work, or helping teach people about the subconscious in some type of shape or form. They could start feeling devoted to make that a pursuit here. Especially dealing with the health department. A lot of people with 10th house going to 4th house, they from a young age, they may have influences to deal with health in some type of shape or form. All right. All that hype for nothing. I know niggas that's tall, that got no basketball history or whatnot, or ass, or they just trash with basketball. I know they hate hearing that shit. Like, nigga, why you ain't in the NBA? Tall for nothing, motherfucker. Damn. Why God ain't give me all that height? Motherfuckers be acting like that's all it takes to go to the NBA. You just gotta be tall. So, but yeah, 10th house lord in the 4th house. You understand the 4th house deals with what? The heart chakra. So if you got the 10th house lord in there, the things that you feel heavy about, things you really care about, these things are attached to your personality. I mean, to your status, or things you may gain notoriety about. You know, things you're emotionally invested in kind of gets worn on your sleeve a little bit with the 10th house lord in the 4th house. So if it becomes something you brand or establish, you know, that's just gonna be able to gain more light here. All right. The thing here is friction, though, because once again, the 4th house winks. Congratulations. Just brought a beautiful spirit into the world. All right. Hope you enjoyed your first Mother's Day. So when we look at the 10th, the thing that makes this alignment a little challenging is the 4th house is private. You know, the 4th house is private. So this person may have something that they gifted at, talented at, but they real discreet with it. And it gets into a point where, you know, they may have an influence push them to want to, you need the world to see this, or you need to connect this to others, you know. You need to build some foundation with this in your life in some type of shape or form, instead of it being something you do behind the scenes. So that's like how 10th house lord and the 4th house play out a lot of time. 10th house lord in the 5th house. 10th house lord in the 5th house. What's the 5th house? Creative expression, artistic expression, romance, sex, theater, music, art, colors. It's vivid. Inner child, entertainment. So these are things that you're going to want to have an imprint with your mission here. You may have a strong in pursuit to do something in a creative sense, or in the creative world, or in the entertainment world. You may want to change things for our entertainers. You may want to change things for creatives. You may have a strong influence like, damn, how the fuck do I get independent artists to start making more money on their own? This is the mission here, you know, helping stabilize structure or building. Well, the 10th house is dealing with building. All right. It don't matter the sign or plan in this house. We all building something in this house. So if you have the 10th house or in the 5th house, yeah, you might want to take your art or your creativity and be known for that in career. You may already 10th house or in the 5th house. You may already be known as somebody that's hella creative. It might be off the way you sing, you dress, the way your appearance at times could be hella fucking creative. 10th house lord, a lot of 10th house lord and the 5th house people are into fashion. That's they fucking shit. A lot of y'all love to be seen for y'all fashion. Okay? But when you got the 10th house lord in the 5th house, the mission here is what you're building for real when it comes into the 5th house. How do you take you may be an artist, you may come, just having the 10th house lord in the 5th house, you may come into building and branding yourself, dealing with creativity. You may start off as an artist, but making the music and connecting your music to the world, that may not be as fulfilling as a mission. That of course, you know, dealing with your creativity, that could be fulfilling. But what you might start doing on an executive level in the 5th house, it could start feeling like more of a mission. This label I made, and now I'm signing other people to change their lives. I'm putting other people in position to change their lives. Now this new thing I created here, now other artists could use this platform to build themselves. This is 10th house lord in the 5th house. What are you building to help enhance things or leave your presence dealing with something with creativity? You know, with expression. But obviously, you know, this alignment alone, you know, 10th house or in the 5th house, these people, they want their music to get out there. They want their art to get out there. These people can gain a lot of notoriety based off their critique or their ideals about things dealing with entertainment and art. Okay? But these people are also going to have strong pursuits to build and construct things for the youth too. That may have a lot to do with your mission here, 10th house lord in the 5th house. All right? You may give birth to a child. Maybe your child is disabled. Maybe your child has a certain issue, and now it starts to it starts to influence you to brand something to help other parents that deal with children with disability. You may have experienced something as a child. You get older, you want to start branding or establishing things to help children deal with what you had to deal with in the home, or help teach parents and shit. So yes, you may definitely be up in that area dealing with improving things for the youth, bringing the light out of the youth in some type of shape or form. So you might be invested in holding in holding platforms or developing situations for the youth to get more in touch with their talents, with the things, with their inner light. Maybe a lot of things. It may be a lot of things that you influence, inspired to do to help the youth stay connected to their creativity here. Okay? And you just having the 10th house Lord in the 5th house, you just might manifest a lot of positions to be connected to the youth. Like you might work in a whole in a whole job doing something, or in a whole company doing something. But when it comes to this area that deal with the children over here, or deal with the younger kids, son, what's the name over there? 10th house Lord in the 5th house. They're going to have a better touch with the youth, with the kids, better influence on them or whatnot. So, but yeah, these are your artists. These are your people that are, they had to make art. They had to make their creativity a part of what they do for business, a part of how they brand themselves. They had to, okay? In some type of shape or form. 10th house Lord in the 6th house. 10th house Lord in the 6th house. Okay? Now, this is another powerful alignment, because what is the 6th house? Another earth house. So we got two earth houses making contact. So the 6th house deals with schedule, routine, diet, regimen, health. All right. So when you got the 10th house Lord in this house, based off the things you do in your schedule to help you bring some type of security, order into your life, the diet that you adapted to, you being a vegan and seeing the changes it brought into your life, the progress it brought into your life, how you done worked on certain things to build stability into your life, the people that you met in the workplace, all of these things start to create opportunities in your 10th house. All right. So a lot of your mission, somebody left a comment. And said, I got the 10th house Lord in the 6th house, and I teach about holistic health and something like that, this, that, and the third. So, when you got the 10th house Lord in the 6th house, there's going to be a strong pursuit and influence to want to get what is it that helps bring order into your life, and putting it into some type of container so you could serve it to others. You may have had problems with your skin. You may have issues with your skin. You have a lot of you have acne and shit, or I got eczema and shit. I got eczema, so I'm talking about my damn self. So you may have eczema, psoriasis, all type of shit. You feel me? And it really motherfucking has been a thorn in your ass for your whole life. Now you started to develop some type of regimen for this shit. You started diving deep into why your skin gets aggravated from the inside, not just what you put on it from a topical perspective, right? So now you start diving into these things, and not only do you develop, concept of how to deal with health, you're developing concepts as to this is how you treat the inside, and this is what you put on the outside. Now, 10th house Lord in the 6th house, this becomes their motherfucking mission. See, you're in your 2nd house when you're making money. You in your 10th house when you're changing other people's lives. When you're leaving some type of imprint and strong influence on others, you in your 10th house bag. When you're just developing something to make money, security, get stable, a lot of times, you just in your 2nd house bag, or maybe one of your talents or something you're known for or whatnot, in some type of shape or form played out where it manifested an opportunity for you. But when we talking into that 10th house, that mission, being on your mission type of influence, you're going to impact lives here. Okay, so that's how the 10th house Lord in the 6th house starts to impact people's lives. The things they did in their life to gain some sense of regimen, order, and also these people, 10th house Lord in the 6th house people, they're big on entrepreneurship too. And they're big on entrepreneurship because a lot of them go through 6th house experiences, and they start to learn things in the 6th house that make them want to break free from the 6th house, or make them want to gain power over the 6th house. So this might be one of your entrepreneurs or one of your, business influencers talking about like, hey guys, I know y'all don't feel like the rest of y'all life. Y'all supposed to be working this 9 to 5 from Monday to Friday. Blah, 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 blah. I went through certain experiences in my life, and the last job I worked, I realized I didn't want to be in there. So I had to think to myself, what am I going to work on? How I'm going to structure something so I could own my 6th house, so I could be the authority of my schedule, the authority of how I gain order in my life. 10th house Lord and 6th houses, they be having that alignment. that type of influence right there. They trying to help people own their sixth house. They trying to brand or establish something to help other people have control of their sixth house and not have the other things control their sixth house. All right? So, my son is in the 10th house. Did he discuss that already? I had to go find out. What's your midheaven, Saudis? What's your midheaven? Because I seen you leave a comment. I think you was asking how to find the ruler for your 10th house. You just have to know what your midheaven is. So whatever planet that rules that sign in the 10th house or your midheaven, that's the ruler. And you want to know what house that's in. That's what I'm talking about. 10th house Lord. 10th house Lord. Oh, I'll break it down in the DM. We break it down in the DMs. You already know we vibe on that. So 10th house Lord in the 7th house. All right, so let me go ahead and wrap this up. Let's get to the second half. 10th house Lord in the 7th house. The 7th house, my midheaven is in Taurus, Sun, Venus, and Mercury. My midheaven is in Taurus. Right now I'm talking about how to understand what your mission is based off the house that the house Lord is in. So let's say you have the 10th house Lord in the 7th house. That mission is going to have a lot to do with relationships. Okay? You may be influenced in some type of shape. Okay, first of all, having the 10th house Lord in the 7th house, you may be already known for things dealing with your relationships. In some type of shape or form, you might have, your relationship for some reason, 10th house Lord in the 7th house. When you dated that person in high school, you was one of the most popular couples in that motherfucker. It's like, damn, I was nobody yesterday. I started dating this person today. Everybody know me. Everybody know me. You can develop a huge reputation. They say, you become who you surround yourself with. Oh, 10th house Lord in the 7th house? Yeah. You finna develop a reputation for the people you be around. You finna develop a big reputation for who you date. For your social circle. But the 7th house is about building balance, connecting your personality to others. So people with the 10th house Lord in the 7th house, these are going to be, they may have a strong influence to do things in career with other people, right? They might want to podcast themselves, but it's like 10th house in the 7th Lord is like, let me ask my two best friends if they want to podcast with me. Things dealing with relationship ideals is always going to be something for you. For you, 10th house Lord in the 7th house, you people gravitate towards your relationship ideals. Because this is what games like here in the 10th house. How you deal with relationships, your relationship experience. You may have experienced some shit in relationships with a friend, family member, ex, with one of your partners, with a flame. And that shit starts to, mold your character in a way where it's like, damn, I want to start giving my message out to other women that may have been taken advantage of this way. Or I want to start teaching men. A lot of people that are on YouTube right now, a lot of red pill YouTubers, a lot of women on YouTube talking about relationships, these are 10th house Lord in the 7th house individuals, a lot of them. Or they got 10th house Lord, 7th house, or they got the 10th house making contact with an air house, with the 3rd, 7th, or 11th house in some type of shape or form. So what they're branding, what they're gaining notoriety for are things dealing with relationships and relationship ideals. You may be seen as somebody that does well working with other people. The only thing here is with the 10th house Lord in the 7th house, it's a square. So there's going to be times where you have to learn how to cooperate, compromise, and work with other individuals to build things in career. And you got to be able to know when to seize that moment, or you got to know when, it might be a situation you don't want to work with this person, but it's going to be a productive, progressive situation for both of y'all. You rather do something individual, but this is a time for you to embrace some type of partnership here to get something done, to get something established. You got to embrace them times. You're going to be pushed to deal with other people in the 10th house. If you got the 10th house Lord in the 7th house. A lot of YouTubers, a lot of relationship YouTubers have this alignment. People that built brands and businesses with their partners have this alignment. Not just their intimate partner, but with their friend or whatnot, You and your friend started a podcast. You and your friend started a whatever brand, But a lot of people with this alignment, You know, when we talk about mission, these are people that's going to want to help people with relationships. They're going to want to give individuals more insight on how to deal with relationships in their life. So it might not be relationship coaching, which it can manifest into that, but it could turn into people that, based off what they experience in their life, they're going to try to help other individuals that's single, learn from past relationships, help them pick mates, help them understand how to prevent certain things in their life dealing with certain relationships. This could be the mission here. You know, this can be a strong mission to help individuals here. Okay, anything relationship based here. All right? Especially putting yourself in a situation where you can connect with others on a one-on-one level. You know, these individuals might be good therapists. Good therapists have this type of alignment. 10th house Lord in the 7th house. They're known for dealing with people well. You know, good therapists, good psychiatrists and shit. Real good counseling like energies. Okay? So, this is important here. 10th house Lord in the 7th house. Now, 10th house Lord in the 8th house. Okay? When you got the 10th house Lord in the 8th house. Hold on. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. Now, if you got the 10th house Lord, I'm going to talk about the planets that rule these houses too, how that affects it too. That's why I want to get through the houses real quick. Now, if you get the 10th house Lord in the 8th house, this is going to be, the 8th house deals with what? Other people's resources, transformation, the occult, and what's hidden. So if you got the 10th house Lord in the 8th house, a lot of time you may like more of a discreet career. You may like more of a private career. You feel me? You may like to do some shit that's, you ain't got to be in the light. You feel me? You don't. But the thing is, with Scorpio here, not Scorpio, with the 10th house Lord in the 8th house, not only may you manifest situations with what you do for career or whatnot is behind the scenes, the 10th house dealing with transformation in the occult, this starts to become something that you may be influenced to deal with from your mission. AKA, it may be something that you got enlightened about out the 8th house. It might be something you came into light about, awareness about in the 8th house, something dealing with the occult, something dealing with energies behind the scenes in society. Most of the people living in the matrix don't be knowing about things about the government, things about behind the scenes shit about certain companies, about food that we don't know. All this type of shit becomes things that leave a strong imprint as to what your mission is. So you can start to feel like your mission here is to enlighten people about, enlighten parts of the world about things you know they don't know about. You know they don't have awareness about. We know the majority of the world don't know what the fuck astrology is. You know, even though it's growing larger every day. We know the majority of the world don't understand, you know, we spirits and bodies and we keep doing this. We know the majority of the world don't understand presidents are picked. We know the majority of the world don't understand the media be lying. We know the majority of the world don't understand a lot of things that's behind the scenes. We build on these occult spiritual like things here. We build on this shit here, and it starts to gas us to make us feel like the rest of the world be on game until we go back to work. Until we go back to school. Until we scroll down our timeline and see some of the shit our friends and, you know, associates say. We like, oh, damn, I gotta remind myself I do live in the matrix. I can't be thinking everybody knows astrology. I can't be thinking everybody's into spirituality now. I can't be thinking everybody know that what's put on your TV is not what it really seems like all the time. All right? But with the 10th house Lord in the 8th house, this becomes your mission now. So a lot of y'all 10th house Lord in the 8th house is very passionate about exposing shit. Y'all very passionate about exposing shit, bringing light to things people are unaware about, okay? Y'all know how to help people get money behind the scenes. 10th house Lord and the 8th house people know how to help people get money, because they may have ran into some energies in the 8th house behind the scenes that help them understand how to get money. Help them. These are the people that know how to teach you about credit. Help you understand, like, you're not supposed to be, the motherfuckers not supposed to be putting this, that, and third on your credit. But that's what everybody think. Sign up for my shit or come in my live stream so I can really break down how these niggas be playing us with our credit. That's 10th house Lord and the 8th house type shit. Come to my live stream so I can show y'all how y'all could fix y'all credit on your own, and how y'all could tell these debt collectors you're not supposed to be paying this debt, how that's really illegal. Or come to my live stream and let me show y'all motherfuckers how to get motherfucking, how to get rid of the straw man. How to become motherfucking, what's the word? What's the word when you're not a part of this government no more? The Moors be teaching this. I'm having a brain fart. It'll come in my head. But yeah, these 10th house Lord and the 8th house motherfuckers, they know how to spread things about the occult or things behind the scenes, and that starts to become their mission. They start to feel fulfilled. They start to leave legacy here because they took a risk, or they were passionate about enlightening others about things they know the world was in the dark about. All right, so these could be strong teachers. A lot of astrologers have this placement. A lot of people that know how to use the government to make money, that do all type of shit that we don't know about, that they know how to use the government and certain resources out there to make money. 10,000 on the 8,000, they be knowing. Days be knowing. All right, but a lot of the mission is going to be to teach a lot of the times here, and to also what they may want to expose or express are going to be things to help people get more control of how they deal with their emotions or transformative situations. Since the 8th house deals with transformation and whatnot, deals with sex, it deals with the occult. Here, these people, 10th house Lord and the 8th house, they're going to be exposing and expressing things to help you understand why your subconscious, your mental health, be a little off, why you're programmed to think and feel like this. They're very passionate about helping you understand what you can connect to, what you can hone in on to help the mental health, to help emotional stability. So they may do this through diet. They may do this through teaching you astrology. They may do this through teaching spirituality. They may do this through teaching about their own personal life experiences, and now they got into hot yoga and they do hot yoga, and now that's their shit, and that's what helps them deal with traumas and wounds. This is 10th house Lord in the 8th house. Sovereign, thank you. 10th house Lord in the 8th house motherfuckers will teach you how to get a sovereign status out this motherfucker. It's like, what? What's a straw man? Straw man? Some people in the chat, right? Some of y'all right now are like, what is a straw man? Google it. Google straw man and birth certificate. And you'll probably be reading about that shit all night tonight. Probably don't get no sleep. But motherfucking, that's 10th house Lord in the 8th house shit right there. They're going to teach you how to get sovereign. They're going to teach you how to get good credit. They're going to teach you how to improve your finances behind the scenes. You're going to ask them, is this legal? They're going to be like, we say it's legal. We say it's legal, all right? That's your answer for that. I'm like, all right, I guess it's legal then. Because once you have them earth houses, I ain't gonna lie, the best criminals be having this alignment. The best criminals be having earth houses hitting the 8th house. 10th house Lord, 2nd house Lord, 6th house Lord, and the 8th house gonna know how to break a brick down. They gonna know how to get arrested the first time and not get caught no more after that. It's like, okay, damn, I thought I was on top of everything, but that one thing right there is over. I'm gonna get on top of that. Once I get out, once I do this 6-month bid, it's over. Niggas ain't never gonna catch me. I knew in the first place I shouldn't have even been talking on that cell phone like that, but it's all good though. They're gonna be hidden here. They're gonna be hidden. But that's the thing about the 10th house Lord in the 8th house. Last thing I'm gonna say here, this is why they end up building big reputations in the dark, if that makes sense. So, how do I say this? Somebody like Dolo the Pilot Man, Archangel Uriel. To us, the motherfucker seems like the second coming, the Archangel Uriel, mad wise, or somebody, I don't want to use hood healer because hood healer is more known. But when it comes to spiritualists and teachers that are big to us in a certain community, but they're not so renowned, you know, to the point everybody in the world know them, to the point, but to the people in that community or in that world, they're that significant. They hold a lot of purpose and they help people understand how to move in the dark. They're helping people behind the scenes understand how to move behind the scenes. So it's like they don't have a big light in the world, but they have a big light in the dark. If that makes sense. If that makes sense. So these people can lead the occult. They can lead spiritual communities. You know, shit like that. All right? So that's 10th house lord in the motherfucking, my brother Zodiac Energies in the motherfucking building. Legal without man-made laws, for sure. See, you know how them 8th house vibes go. You know how them 8th house vibes go. If somebody with the 10th house lord and the 8th house come to me and they're like, I got a business proposition for you. What drugs do you want me to sell? What is it? It's weed? I ain't fucking with no hard shit. I'll sell some weed. I know they're gonna want me to sell some type of drug. So you got all them girls, they like astrology, they be smoking. just say you be having it on your stories, bro. Put it in your close friends. I know them spiritual girls like smoking. So that's 10th house lord in the 8th house. 10th house lord in the 9th house. When you got the 10th house lord in the 9th house, the 9th house is the house of enlightenment. It's the house of higher learning, education, spirituality, philosophy, religion, experiences, you know, long distance traveling, different cultures, foreign cultures. So 10th house lord in the 9th house is going to build a strong mission to enlighten others, you know. Now, we could say the 10th house lord and the 10th house lord in the 8th house and 10th house lord in the 9th house, they're going to have similarities because they're going to both deal with teaching. But the thing is, the 10th house lord in the 8th house person, they feel like their mission is to enlighten people about things they're in the dark about. It's to bring, almost in a sense, they're bringing justice to help others fuck the system over, fuck the matrix over, get their power back, you know. The 8th house has Uranus influences in here too. You know, so planets in the 8th house will pick up Uranus-like influence, Pluto-like influences, Mars-like influences, you know? So if you got your sun in the 8th house, your sun is influenced by like some Uranus-like themes. So you may be a real individual motherfucker, sun in the 8th house. You may change your environment a lot. Either you change the environment or environments change because of your actions, you know? But when you got the 10th house lord in the 8th house, yeah, you may want to teach from an enlightening, others exposing shit type perspective here. With the 10th house lord in the 8th house. When you get to the 10th house lord in the 9th house, you know, these people are gonna they could want to teach about the occult. You know, they could want to teach about the occult and shit. But a lot of their mission in life is gonna come down to experiencing. You know, so they may have a strong passion to teach, 10th house lord in the 9th house. You're gonna be called to teach. You're gonna feel like that's what you're here to do, you know. So once again, there's a lot of people in the spiritual community have this alignment. A lot of teachers have this alignment. People that just teach regularly, you know, professors, high school teachers, kindergarten teachers. They have 10th house lord in the 9th house. They want to use their what they have recognition for. They want to use how people see them to enlighten others, to teach others in all different type of shapes or form. People with this alignment may be seen as a teacher by default. The sun in the 8th sounds cool. Shit, the sun in the 8th be going through some shit though. You know, the sun don't really like the 8th house like that. We could say it's neutral, but y'all gotta understand when we get into like the fall season, Libra season, Scorpio season, the sun falls in Libra. So once again, it's why we don't be seeing the sun like that when Libra season start, when the fall season start. But technically that motherfucker stays asleep all the way until Aries season. Technically. You know, Libra and Aquarius, we just get the worst of that shit. Libra and Aquarius, when the sun is in Libra, it ain't doing the goddamn thing. When the sun is in Aquarius, it ain't doing the goddamn thing. The sun in Libra just thinking all motherfucking day. The sun in Aquarius just thinking all motherfucking day. That ain't the sun's energy. The sun need to act. The sun need to shift some shit. The sun need to express some shit, you know? So when we look at the houses, the sun in the 8th house, this person may they may struggle with getting their sun to be seen. So they may be passionate about something and they want this to get seen and they feel hidden, or they may want to be hidden. You know, the natural identity here is going to want to be in the subconscious. But then, you know, when it comes to them wanting to stay behind the scenes, they may have energies trying to pull them out the 8th house. So it is the sun in the 8th house. It get tricky for them. It get tricky, but you know, these are the people I like to do business with and whatnot. These are the people I like to build with, though. You know, because they're going to be motivated and then sun in the 8th house. You know, I don't like dramatic, having to do everything for attention-ass motherfuckers. Like, that's not me. I don't like that energy. So when I be around people with sun in the 8th house and shit, I know I could go with you to the party. We go in the party, get out the party, go home. I know you ain't a make a scene ass nigga. I know you ain't hella dramatic. I know how you know how to keep things cool, calm, and collective. That's that 8th house energy, all right? But anyways, that's a whatever. So now 10th house lord in the 9th house. You know, so these are people that yes, they're gonna have pursuits in the 10th house. As far as their mission is gonna feel like they need to teach others. Their mission is going to feel like they need to teach others. They need to enlighten others. Like I said, a lot of astrologers, teachers, professors, they have this placement, 10th house or 9th house. A lot of people with this placement, they do a lot of teaching in within what they do. So you could be a locticianist. They may be real passionate. They take it beyond being a locticianist. They jump into teaching energies with that shit. So they gonna get on YouTube and they gonna start teaching people how the fuck to take care of your locks, how to prepare your locks before you come to me to get it twisted, what to do after I twist your locks, the best shampoo for your hair with locks, why your locks not growing, how to take care of your scalp. This is 10th house lord in the 9th house. So they're a locticianist, but they want to teach. They can't help it. They can't watch their clients come in and not give them the knowledge that they need to thrive. So now what happens? This becomes the mission now. So them wanting to teach about locks, them wanting to give up their wisdom on how to take care of the locks, them wanting to give out their experience dealing with the locks. Now it starts to manifest them possibly building a brand, a platform, a business, a company that can actually help people, a bunch of people connect to them and learn about hair. Now they doing seminars later in life. Now they not even twisting hair no more. They're not even twisting hair no more. They're not doing locks no more. They're getting booked as seminars to teach about hair and self-love and self-care. Everything moves in chapters, family. You got to understand that the things you're doing today, if you set in a goal to do something today, you got to know you embarking a journey. That's not a one chapter book. You got to go to do this. You got to go to start that. Go to start this business, this, that, and the third. You in for a journey, you know? And you should never want to stay complacent where you at, you know? So, I know I don't want to be doing natal chart readings forever. I'm passionate about dealing with astrology, but I want to reach different plateaus within my brand. You know? I love helping people with the knowledge and whatnot, but it's going to come a point where it's like, okay, all right, I'll put myself in this position to help other people, this, that, and the third. If you want to connect with me, it costs this much. But hey, I want to speak in front of crowds. I want to touch as much people as possible. I want to do this, that, and the third. I want to create this brand to help people, to help apprentice astrologers coming up. So you got to always want to, you always got to understand you in a certain chapter with what you're doing. You feel me? You want to master one chapter at a time. But you never want to underestimate what the next chapter could bring, what opportunities the next chapter could bring. So 10th house lord in the 9th house, yes, that starts to become the mission. It don't matter if they're a locticianist. It don't matter if they teach. Shit, even the 10th house lord in the 9th house, even if you are a teacher. If you are a teacher or whatnot, it's going to come a point where, you know, you're going to want to branch off and do your own thing with teaching in some type of shape or form. You might want to make your own school with the 10th house lord in the 9th house. That's the mission. That's the mission. That's the legacy. You start to get influence to leave here, 10th house lord in the 9th house, making your own school, writing your own series of books about something. You know, in some type of shape or form. Now, 10th house lord in the 10th house. Okay? 10th house lord in the 10th house. Now, with this alignment, with the 10th house lord in the 10th house, this is just like any other house lord that's in the house that it rules. So if you were Leo and you got the sun in the 10th house, that's the 10th house lord in the 10th house. You know, if your midheaven is Cancer and you got the moon in the 10th house, that's the 10th house lord in the 10th house. So if the actual ruler is in that house, it don't really deal with resistance in that house because it rules that area. Ain't nobody telling you what to do in your house, right? It's my motherfucking house. Wash the dishes tomorrow if I motherfucking feel like it. So take that in when it comes to your 10th house. This is not an area, because you have the house lord here. You may have did something in a previous lifetime where now this lifetime you don't need to go outside of, you don't need to visit another house to build something here. So when it comes to your natural pursuits, first of all, having the 10th house lord in this house, you may understand what it feels like to deal with popularity, attention, and notoriety at an early age. Probably because you was an athlete. You might have been just popular by default in school. You might have knew all the popular people who got in the in crowd. You might have developed something, or you may have been good at a skill. You was in a gymnastics squad. Whatever. You may have got to realize what it feels like to deal with notoriety or attention in some type of shape or form at an early age with the 10th house lord in this house. You know? It could be as simple as if you was the smartest kid in school. Everybody know your ass was going to be on a roll, dean's list every motherfucking year. You know, something here puts you in a position to gain notoriety. By the time you 18, 21 with the 10th house lord in the 10th house, by the time you get into your early adult stages, there gotta be something that you was already, you gained recognition for, you know? And not to say it's something that carries into life. I'm just saying you may have manifested experiences for you to understand how that feels, how it feels to have a status with something, you know? This is my placement. I have the 10th house lord in the 10th house. I played basketball my whole life. Before I started playing basketball, you know, before college or whatnot, I dealt with so much notoriety. I was high ranked in New York, you know, my name everywhere, this, that, and the third. So I knew what it felt like to deal with status. I knew what it felt like to walk in somewhere in New York and people know me. So in some type of shape or form, that's what the 10th house lord do here. Now, but what happens here when it comes to your mission? What happens here? Okay, when you have the 10th house lord in the 10th house, you cannot become wishy-washy with what you want to do to establish career stability in this realm. Depending on what the house lord and the sign is, these are going to be things that influence what you may be passionate about doing with career. But the thing here is you can get real wishy-washy here with the 10th house lord. You can get real wishy-washy because it may feel like you could do so many things here. You know, you may experiment with a whole lot of different things with the 10th house lord and the 10th house because it feels like you could do so many things here. So what happens here is when we talk about mission, this can trickle into so many different things. It's just that this person with the 10th house lord and the 10th house has to understand that ain't nothing going to grow until they set a strong intention here. Once they set a strong intention here, it's pretty much, you know, sayonara. It's over. They're gonna blast off sooner or later. That's really the most important thing about the 10th house lord in the 10th house. Sitting down and understanding what you want to brand, how you want to be seen. This ain't somewhere that you then say what's going on. This ain't a placement where you want to just take on what other people are doing or be influenced by other people are doing, and that can happen a lot, especially if you have a lot of air energies like me, okay? But if you have the 10th house lord in this house, you watch somebody do some shit, get popular for some shit, you'll be like, I can do that shit too. And you'll jump into that shit and start making progress with that shit until it gets to a point where you realize this is not what I really wanted to do. It's just something that felt like I knew I could do. And with the 10th house lord, that's how it happens. These people are really flexible with career. These people, they're most likely they're not gonna stay complacent in career. And I just said everybody experiences chapters with what they want to do with career. But with this alignment, these are people that they got popular for music, but then they got into acting, and now they directing, and now they writing books. So their 10th house can change a whole lot, and people won't say like, damn, they always change or something, or they're not unstable. No, you're going to be perceived as somebody that's multidimensional in the 10th house. All right. So it really comes down to what the ruler here is and the signs and alignments hitting the 10th house when it comes into what you want to do for career, what your mission is. Now, the 10th house itself deals with stability, status, business, finances. So you may be very well with helping people brand. You may be very well with helping other people gain stability. And the way you help other people gain stability, don't ever condense how you do that. I know me teaching astrology help people feel stable. You know, some people's music make other people feel stable. There's an artist right now making an album, and that album finna stop somebody from committing suicide. So you can't never underestimate how your talents, your experience, your talents, your wisdom is bringing stability to somebody else. But that's what the 10th house Lord need to keep in mind. I ain't really specifically pinpointing what you're going to do in career. Now, if I looked at your chart, I'm like, okay, you a Leo, you Leo midheaven. Okay, the sun is making contact with this planet here. You like music, right? Or you into motherfucking self-care, right? Okay, let's start to brand this. So that's a different thing there. But because the 10th house overall deals with foundation, we got Shady Cheryls in the building. Because the 10th house deals with foundation and stability, this is something that you becomes the mission here. It don't matter if it's through your music. It don't matter if it's through your holistic health brand. It don't matter through the series of books that you're teaching about dealing with child trauma. And it don't matter if it's through your entertainment. It don't matter if it's through your teachings. And maybe you want to teach about spirituality. Whatever it is, move with the purpose of bringing stability into other people's lives, and that 10th house is always going to take off. But you got to be consistent here, and you can't be wishy-washy, because that with great power comes great responsibility, and that's the curse here. Being wishy-washy, being too up in the air, and not being intentional with what you want to do with career, and letting other people influence you too much with career. All right? So that's 10th house Lord in the 10th house. Now, can't find you on YouTube. You can't find Border Lady Libra on YouTube? Let me find out they're shadow banning me now. I mean, if you can't find me, you should be able to just type in Border Lucky Libra. But I got the link in my bio. So that's 10th house Lord in the 10th house. So if you're an Aries midheaven, it may deal with something that you're personally passionate about. It may deal with something that you inspired about to help people with build their individuality or help people, you know, focusing on things they more individually. It could be from you could be jump into things where you're able to inspire, motivate people through your brand, through your mission. You know, if you got Aries, Mars is the 10th house Lord here. You might be the one helping people break free through things in the matrix or within their career. You got Taurus here. Shit. Taurus here get broad. You know, we dealing with the fucking self-care. We dealing with motherfucking self-love. We dealing with relationship energy a bit. We dealing with cosmetics. We dealing with beauty. We dealing with art. You can sell your art. That shit take off. 10th house Lord, 10th house Venus Taurus here. Is Earth is stuff. Is deal with Earth, deal with stability. So you giving off your advice, your awareness about things that help brought stability in your life and how to deal with your value system. People want to connect to that. You got Gemini in here. Your ideals about relationships, just your thoughts, putting your thoughts out in the world with Gemini, Mercury being your 10th house Lord. You can't be afraid to communicate, express your thoughts here. You're gonna stunt yourself. Cancer in this house, things that help you deal with emotional stability, the heart chakra, your emotions, your mental health, things you learn in the home, things you understand about connection. These are things in the world that's fucking up our emotional stability, our mental health and whatnot. You pointing these things out, you building brands around these things. That thrives here. Leo in the 10th house, creative expression, artistic expression, shining awareness, teaching in this house. All right, letting your personality be seen in the 10th house, being on the camera. All right, letting your music be motherfucking heard in this house. You cannot be an artist or creative with a Leo 10th house and have the sun in the 10th house. Is no way that you're reluctant to put your art out, because having that alignment, the sun in the 10th house, you always gonna gain the notoriety for your creativity. People gonna see you as the creative. So it's gonna be so many chapters and situations in your life where people forcing you to brand that, to establish that. So you shouldn't be hesitant in that area. If you are a Virgo midheaven with Mercury in here, things dealing with health, things dealing with regimen, things dealing with helping bring order into people's life. Mental health here too. Obviously fitness, all of that fits into regimen, all right? Diet, holistic health, you know, things dealing with schedule, self-development, routine. These are things people are going to love you for in the 10th house, all right? Virgo, Libra, you know, relationship coaches, relationship ideals. Anything relationship based with Libra in the 10th house, and you got Venus in here, and you got Venus in the 10th house. Man, Venus gonna bring some love into the 10th house. Venus gonna bring a bunch of supporters into the 10th house when you start giving out energies about your relationship experience, or you created this YouTube page or this brand or these products to help people deal with things in their relationships, this, that, and the third, or whatnot. You got these services. Not more so products, but services or whatnot to help people deal with relationship energies with Libra and Venus in the 10th house. And you're going to come off as real relatable and sociable. You're going to come off as real articulate, Venus and Libra in that 10th house. And you OD going to understand relationships more. Because you got Venus in Libra, so you know what a fair relationship is. You know what a just relationship is. You know what manipulation, narcissism look like. You know what them shits look like, Venus and Libra. You know what a passive individual that's letting somebody take advantage of them look like, Venus and Libra. So this starts to be things that influence your 10th house and how maybe the mission you want to help people with in your life. Now, well, that's Libra, Scorpio, and Mars in the 10th house. See, this is me. I have this placement, 10th house on the 10th house. So Mars and Scorpio, the occult, dealing with spirituality, dealing with bringing things from the dark into the light, you know, exposing shit. Things dealing with passion. This is why, I'll teach about spirituality, but I always have like a fucking passionate ass undertone to it. I always have like a self-motivating, helping people get out of their motherfucking, helping people get out their rut. Like when people watch me on live, it's almost like I put myself in a position to act like almost everybody had a bad day. So I want to lift y'all up. I want to motivate y'all through spirituality. I want to motivate y'all through, my belief system. Okay? So these are motivational speakers. Obviously, Mars ruling the 10th house, but with Scorpio here, it's going to be things dealing with spirituality, helping get the subconscious in order, helping people deal with the subconscious. There's going to be a lot of teaching here, exposing shit in the dark. Okay? It's just that Scorpio midheavens, you can't be afraid to be seen. And you're going to go through transformation. Just know that shit. A lot of relationships in my life definitely changed. A lot of things in my life changed once I started teaching astrology. It's some people I haven't seen since I made my first astrology post. So understand that. Because Scorpios is individual and it's transformative. It's individual and it's... I'm not live on YouTube. Excuse me. Oh, that's what you were asking. If I'm live on YouTube. Nah, I'm not. I just wanted to come here and just talk about this real quick. All right, it's already a little bit over an hour, but that's what happens with Scorpio and Mars in there. You got to fight for your individuality here. You're gonna go through some transformations here, but that's the mission in the 10th house, making something you passionate about and in real passionately invested in from an individual perspective, regardless of how different it is from others or how much behind the scenes it is. So you being a representation of that shit in some type of shape or form. See, I have Mars and Pluto and Scorpio. Yup, that makes the both of us. Libra, stay high. I don't know why you said that. I don't smoke weed. Sorry, I gotta pace. I gotta do this. When I do, I gotta do that. My bad. I'm sorry for all my Virgos and for all my Virgos, my Capricorns, my Tauruses, I'm sorry. I gotta do this. It's kind of hard sitting in the same place at times and whatnot. I just got a lot of energy right now too, so this just helps. All right, y'all. This just helps. Okay. Scorpio. What's the next midheaven? Sagittarius midheaven. There's gonna be a lot of teaching here too. All right, you're gonna be given a lot of enlightenment in the 10th house too. Sagittarius midheaven with Jupiter in here you're going to be experiencing a lot in your life that's teaching you how to build stability. You may manifest a lot of mentors, even your parents, siblings, and they've given you a lot of gems about how to build stability and security here. Jupiter adds the philosophical approach to dealing with building your reality up, right? So now you may start to adapt these things and become a representation for these things in some type of shape or form in the 10th house with Jupiter Sagittarius in this house. Bora, are you about that vegan life? Now, I used to be vegan. I'm fat now. I just wanted to say hi, borrowed time. What's going on, Essie? What's your rising? Oh, okay. Sagittarius here. This person is gonna want to take a lot of their experiences building stability and their mistakes building stability or shifting things in their reality and want to take that and put that in a container in some type of shape or form to be able to connect that to others, to be a representation for that for others. You got a Jupiter ruled 10th house, Sagittarius in the 10th house. People already going to kind of, this is what, Pisces? Yeah, it's Pisces rising. So people already see you as a teacher. Part of your life path is to take your knowledge and express that shit and circulate it with Sagittarius and Jupiter in the 10th house. You know, you may attract a lot of people that's always trying to learn certain things from you with this alignment, you know? So, them things that people are heavy on learning from you, or those things that, you know, let's say there's something that you know and you got a younger sibling, they in school and their friends be coming over and they're like, is your older brother home? He can teach us about the zodiac signs. Like, he's here. Like, things that you realize people are intrigued or excited or invested in learning from you. These are things you need to stabilize. These are things you need to stabilize in the 10th house. And it's gonna be there. It's gonna be something there. Jupiter and Sagittarius in the 10th house. You're part of the Jupiter and Sag generation. It's gonna be something here. All right? You got to catch it, though. You got to catch it. Now, Aquarius and Saturn in the 10th house. All right. What if your midheaven is at 29 degrees? If it's at 29 degrees, you came into this realm in some type of shape or form with a lot of experience with that sign. So you're here to use that sign. Oh, did you put the sign there? Let's say it's 29 degrees Leo. So you came into this realm with a lot of experience built up with Leo energy placed into the 10th house. So in your past lives, you may have already experienced being seen or getting notoriety for something dealing with creativity, your awareness, something dealing with entertainment. You was in the entertainment industry. You know, you know what it felt like to be on camera, on the stage. But the other sign, if the midheaven starts at 29 degrees, it indicates you came in with that experience. Now you're gonna have if it's okay, Bill, you said Taurus. So if your midheaven is 29 degrees Taurus, you got all the Gemini in here, right? You got all the Gemini in here. So what happens here is you start to develop energies where that Gemini energy, you gotta shift into that in the 10th house. So you got the experience of something dealing with creativity. You might be real charismatic by default having a 29 degree 10th house. You might be mad charismatic, or you may be intrigued by people that are able to bring their charisma, their personality, their creativity, their talents into the light. Shit like that intrigue you. You may be able to see other people and want to invest in them and build them up. But when we go into excuse me, I'm going back and forth. I'm talking about my Leo example, and then you said Taurus. So overall, with the 29 degree Taurus energy, when it comes into things dealing with getting the 10th house stable overall, being seen for your values, you established that shit in the previous lifetime. So let's say the forms of spirituality you valued, the person you dating that you valued, none of your friends want you to be with this motherfucker, but y'all value this relationship. So the things that you valued, you made sure that was attached to your social status or your brand in some type of shape or form, and you gave off a sense of stability with Taurus being 29 degrees in your 10th house. I'm pretty sure you helped other people gain stability in the 10th house. If you help people make money now, or you help bring stability to people's lives now, or there's something you always felt from young people like being around you because you give a stable energy, you was doing that in your past life. But then now you got all that Gemini energy in there now. So now you got to take your ability to gain stability in the 10th house, your ability to make other people feel stable, your ability to help people deal with their value system. Now you got to be a representation to communicate and relate that shit. Now you got to develop new perspectives and ideals about your value system and whatnot in the 10th house and be able to communicate, circulate that, learn from other people and how they deal with their values and whatnot to help you develop more perspectives. That becomes the position you in. But the house that Venus is in is the most important to understand. The house that Venus is in has a huge influence on how people see you, how people see you, and the house that you need to be building in to help you do that. Okay, so where was I at? Aquarius, Saturn, midheaven. You got Aquarius. I'm going through all of this as for the 10th house and the 10th housers. I'm going to talk about 10th house, Lord, and 11th house, and 10th house, Lord, and the 12th house. It's just that because the 10th house Lord in the 10th house now weighs more on what the planet and the sign is, since it doesn't have to go to another house. You feel me? The 10th house Lord in the 10th house doesn't have to go to another house to do something in career. So it has to focus on the energies that's in that house, which is the ruling planet and the sign. Okay? So when it comes into Aquarius and Saturn in the 10th house, Saturn loves to be in this house. You feel me? So by default, you're going to come into this realm real fucking serious about building stability. You're going to be real fucking serious about building stability and security overall with Saturn in the 10th house. Serious, so serious that you cut off people, places, and things as soon as you feel like it's influencing how you build stability and security or getting in the way of something you're trying to build. Could be impulsive with it too. Could be cutthroat, cutting shit off if you feel like it's affecting career or whatnot. Will really break up with somebody you was really starting to like. Will really stop talking to somebody who's really starting to like because you realize the type of time and attention that they're trying to seek from you is like, I can't give them that time and attention and build my fucking 10th house up. I can't do both. I try to explain it to her. I try to tell her, can we dumb it down and going on a date a week or like, seeing each other once a week because the next 8 months of my life, I really need to focus on this. But hey, she can understand that shit. So oh no, I'm saving this and putting this on YouTube. So Saturn with Aquarius in the 10th house. What's this? This is motherfucking. This is Taurus rising, right? Taurus. It's Taurus rises, right? Aquarius in the year. So with you being a Taurus rising, you already have a personal. People pick up off a state of stability with you personally, right? You're gonna have strong personal values here. A lot of y'all Taurus risings do like comfort, though. Y'all need to break out your comfort zone a lot of the times, though. But anyways, with Aquarius, with motherfucking Aquarius and Saturn here, you start to become a representation to relate forms of stability because Aquarius is air, it deals with communication. So if you got an air 10th house, you're going to have to deal with communication and relatability in your 10th house, but it's Saturn. So you might be the representation in some type of shape or form to be the person to let other people know what the fuck they got to cut off, what they got to restrict in their life, what they got to discipline in their life to build stability, to build self-development here, how to be more cutthroat, filtering things out in their life, this, that, and the third. So you might be a basketball coach, but part of your mission is starting to help young black men in certain communities understand how to use basketball to help them get out their situation, how to block off dealing with, certain situations in the urban cities or whatnot so they can mature and use basketball as a tool. That starts to become the mission here. It ain't just about being a basketball coach. It starts to become the mission as to how do you relate reality, discipline, structure for others in some type of shape or form. If you're an artist and you have Saturn with Aquarius in the 10th house, you may be influenced to rap about a lot of things dealing with reality or rap about a lot of the restrictions that you had to experience and shit. If you an artist and you came to me for a reason, that's what and you talking about how to make my music pop and you got this alignment, that's what I'm going to tell you to do. Like what? Wait. Okay, so you're a rapper, and what you want to do? You want your music to pop off? Okay, you got Saturn and Aquarius in the 10th house. Man, if you don't, I better hear some struggle in your raps. If there's no struggle in that shit, I don't want to hear that shit. Saturn Aquarius in the 10th house. I don't want to hear that shit. I need to hear what the fuck restricted you in life. I want to hear how you couldn't go see that girl because you had to go work the family business because your family was poor and shit. And then that girl ended up hooking up with your best friend and that shit hurt you at a young age and it built trauma with relationships. I want to hear about your restrictions in life. I want to hear about how you had to provide your family from being 8 years old. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear how you had to start working at 8. I want to hear how you dealt with reality in career. If you talking about some whole other imagination, I don't want to hear that shit. 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 I want to hear real life. You feel me? So that's Aquarius in the Saturn house lord. And it's such a powerful alignment if you have this alignment. If you're a Taurus rising, you have this alignment. If you was born anywhere in the last motherfucking, if you was born like me in the early 90s, you have this alignment. If you're a Taurus rising, you most likely have Saturn and Aquarius in the 10th house. So Saturn, once again, don't play in the fucking 10th house. It don't play there. You will get cut the fuck off. A motherfucker will cut you off with no explanation if they feel like you getting in the way. You thought you confused too. You like the sex was good. We went on 3 dates. Like, but I don't know that once I started texting him to see him more, I stopped seeing him more. That's how people talk about you if you got Saturn in the 10th house. Like, damn, is this business, does he only care about business? Does he only care about a check? Like, damn, I know she liked me, but I know she ain't stopped dating me because I'm broke. I mean, she had to pay for the first 3 dates, but I mean, oh yeah, she got Saturn in the 10th house. She ain't doing that shit. I'm surprised you seen the third date with that shit. Saturn in the 10th house, Venus and Earth signs, Venus in the 10th house, Venus in the 11th. Y'all be shallow. I ain't gonna say shallow. It's just that it's hard for y'all to date people that y'all make more money than and shit. If a motherfucker can't give no sense of stability, they be on their last limb with a motherfucker with a strong Saturn placement. Cause it's like, damn. Not only do you not bringing nothing to the table, when it comes to what I'm trying to build, you more weight. I already got responsibilities in my life. Saturn in the 10th house, there's already a lot of things it's already this long-term goal I'm working on. I've been working on this motherfucker goal for 6 years. I know I got about possibly a more 3 to 5 left to achieve this goal. And you added more weight, I'm good. I need to date somebody that want to see me once a week. So that's Saturn Aquarius in the 11th house. I mean the 10th house. You have to understand your viewpoints on dealing with reality, things that have restricted or limited you, or things that you know bring stability to other people's lives. These are things you can't be reluctant to be a representation of and communicate about to others. You'll be surprised how much people relate to you when it comes to your views on society, reality. Aquarius deal with society. Aquarius deal with social media and the internet. It deal with communication. All right? It deal with people you don't know. So 10th house, you got this alignment, Taurus rising. You can't be dependent on people you know here. You got to do your best to get your ideals about shit out into the world, to connect with people that you don't fucking know. Get it to people that don't know you and shit. You know, a beautiful age. We is in the age of Aquarius. It's a beautiful time to be alive. We all empowering. Ain't none of us met each other in person, but we empowering each other like a motherfucker right now. Ain't we? All right. So this is a beautiful age right now. So that thing that you do to help your friend out with their relationship, that thing you do to help your partner out with their creativity, that thing you do to help your child out with the creativity, you can actually do that for thousands of people right now. It don't have to be condensed to something you just do in your personal life. You can display that shit. You know? So, yeah, Saturn and Aquarius, you got air and that Taurus rising. You cannot be reluctant to communicate and relate your shit. relate to things that's different about you. There may be a lot of that too. It may be a lot of things that's different about you that you're passionate about, and you being influenced to brand it and establish it some more. So let's say you're into motherfucking... Every time I think about something that's different or weird to others, I just think about spirituality. I just think about astrology. Like that's be the first thing that comes in my head. I'm introverted. I don't know how this is gonna work with this placement. First, you gotta see where your introverted energies are being pulled from. You know. So we got to look at Chirons. Do we got a Chiron in air? Do we got a Chiron in fire? We got to see what's squaring the sun. Whenever you deal with problems being expressive or being seen, being on the camera, communicating yourself, getting shit off your chest, most of the time we might have some Chiron issues somewhere in fire or air. We might have the sun getting hit by something hard. We might have Sun and Mars having a negative relationship. We might have the Moon and Mercury having a negative relationship. But look at them sun. Look at that sun placement. Look at aspects to that sun, and look at aspects to that sun. And we want to look at Earth houses too. We want to look at Earth house lords too. But I don't want to confuse y'all too much. Start off with them sun aspects. Chiron and Leo. There you go. Yeah, Chiron and Leo, y'all gonna deal with y'all challenges and whatnot, being seen or being expressive for things. And sometimes y'all could cling on to past experiences where you try to express yourself, it didn't really go right. Y'all could cling on a little too heavy to them past experiences. We all do that with our Chiron. We cling on too heavy to past experiences. But when you got Chiron and fire deal with expression. And those are things that it could be the most perfect moment for you to express yourself. So this could trickle into a lot of different situations in your life. You're getting taken advantage in a situation, you're still not speaking up. You're getting taken advantage at work, you're still not speaking up. You motherfucking passionate about doing something or whatnot. It takes so much situations to push you into just being active or jumping into that form of creativity. Especially Chiron and Leo. Chiron and Leo get deep because Leo is active and it don't want to be stable. Like Leo don't want to just fucking sit down and watch everybody. Leo want to get active and be watched. Leo want to create. So when you got Chiron and Leo, at times it's like, damn. My friends be telling me I'm creative as shit. My friends be telling me I'm funny, People be telling me I make good music. People be telling me I know how to dress, but would people really buy clothes from my clothing brand? Like, would people really listen to me on YouTube? Like, I don't like how I looked in that first video. Like, Chiron and Leo delete 15 videos before they post that first video. It's like, Chiron, ain't nobody really up in your face like that. You think I give a fuck? I got crooked teeth. My teeth fucked up. I be having razor bumps in my face at times. Sometimes you can't give a fuck about the vessel. Y'all live too much in y'all vessel. I appreciate me being all chocolate and shit. I appreciate the positive things about my fucking vessel. I appreciate being 6'4", I appreciate all that shit. But ain't nothing negative about my vessel about to stop me from carrying out a mission. I don't give a fuck. I know y'all look at my teeth every fucking live like, yeah, Boro. You ain't putting nothing aside to get a little... Ain't got no health insurance. Don't give a fuck. That shit ain't ever stopped me from getting... Alright, let me not dive too deep into that. But y'all get my drift. Y'all get my drift with that shit. Chiron and Leo just be in the mirror. Do their hair 7 times before they make that motherfucking first YouTube video. And then when y'all start getting into expression and shit, y'all start realizing like, damn, I was really doing too much. Like, this is really Chiron in all fire signs, but especially Leo. You start getting mad at yourself a little bit with Chiron and Leo. Like, I can't believe I was this hesitant jumping into expressing this or jumping into this creative endeavor. Look at how much people fuck with my shit. Look at how it wasn't that hard. It didn't happen the way the last time I tried to express something happened and it didn't go right the way, like this is a whole new situation. Damn, what was wrong with me? I fucking contemplated doing this shit for 4 years before I actually did the shit. I could have been started this shit, Chiron and Leo, Chiron and fire. I could have been told my partner, can you slow it down? You so scared to tell your partner in bed. You so scared to express that. They fucking hurting the shit out of you. If we get intimate, you doing some bug shit, I'm finna tell your ass. Hey, you ain't never heard of being sensual? Why everything so aggressive and fast with you? Slow down. Chiron and Leo gonna feel bad expressing that. Chiron and Leo got somebody throwing them all over the motherfucking room, all over the fucking house. The sex uncomfortable as shit for you, but you just holding that shit in. Like, let me not express this. Let me not get this off my chest. I don't want to be seen as... Seen as what? You about to die. You about to die from sex. You're overthinking your expression too much. All right? So, that's that. Now, slow your ass down. Damn, can't be giving head all aggressive all the time. You watch too much porn. That's the problem. You watching too much of that demonic stuff. They do everything all aggressive and fast in that motherfucker. This ain't that. Slow that shit down. Damn, make love to it. Doing all that. I don't come on with the motor mouth. Anyways, so that's Aquarius in the 10th house with Saturn in there, and then Pisces. Everybody that got Pisces with Jupiter in the 10th house. Okay, so this is my who got Pisces? This is my Gemini risings. This is my Gemini risings. You feel me? So Gemini risings, shit. You personally communicative. You personally relatable as hell. You know. But when you get into the 10th house with Pisces here, Pisces is more of the understanding sign. You know, it deals with the collective. Pisces deals with, creativity, your dreams, the subconscious. All water signs are going to deal with mental health and the subconscious by default, because those are internal energies and water is internal. So you're more invested in dealing with things with the subconscious when it comes to your mission. You're going to deal with connection in some type of shape or form when it comes to your mission. LeBron James, he's a Gemini rising. Yeah, he developed a 10th house because of basketball and whatnot, but he may feel like his mission is the school he built. He may feel like his mission is the kids that he sent into college. The connection he's making, or his ability to connect with others from his environment or whatnot. You know, how he's able to help other people get emotionally stable or whatnot, or create stable situations for themselves. So Pisces in the 10th house, a lot of your mission gonna be developed, gonna be influenced to deal with the collective in some type of shape or form. Bring some help and support to the collective. You're gonna be the type of person, when people connect to your brand, when people connect to your live streams, when people go to your website, when people book you for a service, they do it because when they watch you, when they connect to your energy, they feel understood. With Pisces here. So the gift of being a Gemini rising is the fact that you're able to analyze so many different ways people think and communicate, to the point you build such a rapport for people in your mind, in your life, period. But when it gets into motherfucking Pisces in the 10th house, now you're put in positions where you're kind of equipped to deal with others, and whatever you do, remember, we're talking more so about mission, not just career. Your mission with Pisces in the 10th house is going to start to deal with more charity work, things to help a collective, things to help an environment, especially things helping anybody, especially spiritual influences, teaching influences here. It's Jupiter energy. It's Jupiter in the 10th house, Pisces. Jupiter ruled 10th house. So you're going to be influenced to teach something. But because the house lord is here, that sense of stability, that you're going to look at teaching as the sense of stability to give others. But because it's Pisces, it may be a lot of teaching and inspiration with dreams, with creative essence, with imagination. You may use spirituality to inspire others to understand how to connect to their imagination, to the subconscious, to pull more out of themselves. You're going to help people to look at life outside the body here, Pisces midheavens. So, Pisces in the midheaven, Jupiter here, these are definitely people you watch and you like, this motherfucker understand me. God damn, this motherfucker understand me. So this makes you want to connect to them. People with heavy Pisces energy, period, you can feel very understood around them. I remember I was dating this one Pisces chick. And I was chilling at her crib one time. And we was just sitting on the couch and shit. You feel me? I'm sitting on the couch watching whatever the fuck I was watching. And she was just on her phone. And then I remember, like, that specific day, it was like 3 situations that happened with her friends or with people that she know. And she was feeling guilty about all of them situations, feeling bad because she wasn't being a friend to that situation, or she felt like she should have been there. I'm like, motherfucker, you picked up the phone when they called. Like, you supposed to, you think you finna be Superman in everybody's life? Pisces, sit your ass down. Can't heal everybody. You can't feel guilty for not fixing everybody's life. So some Pisces, y'all will really motherfucking condemn yourselves because y'all couldn't fix or heal somebody or be there for somebody. You got to be careful of that guilt energy. That big Pisces energy. If you got to be careful picking up on that guilt energy for just being the best friend that you could be, being the best partner that you could be. You know, Pisces be in a relationship and be the best partner they could be, and then it fizzles out. And now you just, the next year, the next 6 months, you just heavy on yourself because you feel like there's something you couldn't have did this. You did what you did, Pisces. Like, you did what you did to the maximum in the moment. Don't hold that shit over your fucking head. You know? I'm really just looking at Shorty like, man, if you don't put your motherfucking phone down and watch snowfall, why are you in a group chat picking up all these vibrations? You too sensitive. Too fucking sensitive. Like, damn. So, Pisces in the 10th house, they take a lot of their passions and pursuits to help others dealing with emotional stability, creating foundations to be able to help others dealing with emotional stability, or helping them deal with, evolution. That's the one theme I like to bring up with Pisces in the 12th house, evolution. All right. Now, but we can't. It's hard to say that you're not going to be teaching something with a Pisces ruled midheaven and a Jupiter ruled midheaven. Okay, it's hard to not see that. It's almost with the Sag energy I was talking about. Like, it don't matter what they doing, they're gonna be teaching. They could be a locticianist, they're gonna be teaching about this shit. They're gonna be writing books about, or be influenced to take their mission there. That's what they're gonna feel called to do. Okay. Now, mind you, I may say these things as these are the people that do this, that, and the third. But when we look at our chart, it's up to you to maximize something. It's up to you to activate things at times. It's up to you to push things to their limit. So just because I have a Scorpio 10th house and shit, that don't mean I was gonna become this type of astrologer, this type of teacher, this, that, and the third. That was the potential there. It's up to you to take that somewhere. So you can have some of the same alignments with a certain celebrity. Why that celebrity manifested that sense of stability in their life and you didn't? Why that celebrity deal with them type of relationships and you don't? Or this person that you know, it don't have to be a celebrity. Somebody that you know is like, damn, we got the same fucking 10th house alignment. We got the same 7th house alignment, but our relationships and careers way different. Okay, let's look at energy work. How much energy do they put into that potential? Because all the house lord gonna do is lead you somewhere. Don't none of these alignments make you drink. All your alignments help take you to the water. You got to understand that. That's why I don't make predictions with astrology. And a lot of people that make predictions with astrology, they think it's astrology. No, it's dumb. It's dumb. It's your intuition. It's you spiritually. It ain't how you read astrology. That's the prediction. You can give people the potential to manipulate the future. But if you are actually giving predictions as an astrologer and they're accurate or whatnot, no, you from a certain spiritual family or something. Like, that ain't alignments that did that. You spiritually in tune. So sometimes it's hard to decipher what you brought from a spiritual sense, from spiritual experiences, with things dealing with alignments. Our alignments, we designed our charts. So we designed our charts so when we get here, we think certain ways to lead us to do certain things. So some of y'all have influences to do certain things in y'all houses. Those influences are never going to stop. That's how your houses is set up. So this is why somebody can have an influence to want to start a certain side job or something. But if they don't start it in 2022, or if they didn't start it in 2015, it's 2022 and they still feel that. Yeah, you put that influence there for you So you could feel that shit your whole life. It's up to you to drink water. It's up that influence is just that's just the direction. It's just taking you to where the water is at. It's up to you to go drink. You feel me? So that's what we really, that's how we gotta look at the 10th house as far as what we talking about right now. The 10th house lords. Where that 10th house lord is at, that's the direction as to where to get busy with your mission. Build stability, possibly build notoriety, build your brand, build your business. You know, that's just the direction. Ain't none of that shit falling on our laps. Please tell me anything that y'all manifested that fell on y'all lap. Please. You had to at least think and feel about that bitch. At least. Even if you ain't put no action into that shit, you was thinking and feeling about that shit for a good month or some weeks or something. That shit was heavy on your heart, your mind. You put some energy work into something. Ain't shit just falling into your lap. Yeah, there's certain alignments we have lucky days. But there's some people that have lucky days, and cause they don't do shit, what luck are you really running into? The person, me and you could have a lucky day based off a certain alignment. I'm a Capricorn moon. You might be a Earth moon like me. So when the moon is in Capricorn, Taurus, or another Earth sign, Virgo, that's technically one of our lucky days. Where's the moon at right now? Is the moon still in Virgo? Yes, the moon moving to Libra tomorrow. So everybody with an Earth moon, these past 2.5 days been your lucky days out of this week. Now, if you're active building, if you're active structuring things, if you're active networking, if you're putting energy work into your goals or what you're trying to build, you're going to see the luck. You're going to see the opportunities. Now, if you ain't really doing shit, you ain't putting energy work into anything, how do you create opportunities for luck? You know, you got to know how to create your luck. That's a whole different thing though. Now, so back to the 10th house lords. So lastly, we have the 10th house lord in the 11th house, 10th house lord in the 12th house. We are entitled because we are here. That's my new thing. I like that. 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 Because we come here in this body and we forget how much work we did to get in this body, man. And then when we go back to the astral realm, we be bitching. Why I stayed in that relationship for so long? Why I had this dream and that goal for so long? I wasn't doing shit with that shit. Damn, why didn't I, this, that, and the third? Why didn't I reach out to that family member? I knew I should have been the bigger person, this, that, and the third. You watching all of this when you get out the body. You're watching all of this. And then when you're feeding to get back in another body to experience something again, you know, that experience you finna forget in that experience how hard you work to get in another body. You feel me? So we have to be a little bit more we have to hold each other more accountable here, spiritual community. We have to hold ourselves. We the ones that know this. We the ones that know when we transition, we finna jump into another body and do this again and pick up where we left off. We know this. The average person don't know that shit. The average person think they about to float somewhere up in the sky after, or they about to burn in hell somewhere. The average person kind of limits the possibilities for the next life because they think whatever the fuck happens here is that's it. And they don't understand that they bringing this into the next shift. So, you know, in many ways, we're always building up our next life. Some of y'all are into the metaphysics. Y'all love learning about dimensions and whatnot because that shows you how in tune you are as far as knowing you just spirit. When you hear about different dimensions, when you hear about different galaxies, when you hear things about your ancestors, spiritual families, as a spirit, it intrigues you because it's all confirmation and reminding you that you're boundless. You more than what you condense to in this physical body right now. You feel me? So we got to stay busy, y'all. And we ain't perfect. We ain't motherfucking perfect. We ain't perfect, but we cannot allow ourselves not to acknowledge certain things. You can have a shitty day, shitty week, shitty year. But if you ending that year like acknowledging why it was shitty, what energies you're in, what influences around you kept you in certain energies, that's where you're going to make your transformation. That's where you're going to shift. When you start playing victim energy and you start forgetting and you start forgetting that you are a god or goddess, aka you are the sole controller of your experience, once you start getting away from that shit, then you're liable to deal with all type of bullshit in this realm. You know, shit happens. Don't get it twisted. Shit happens, y'all. But you need to be able to get down. You need to be able to spiritually recalibrate at the end of the day. Okay? This is why people that's more spiritually inclined, they could deal with death better. They could deal with hardships better. They could deal with Saturn returns better. You feel me? So, that's what's going on with that. Now, lastly, y'all, 10th house lord in the 11th house. Okay, so we went through all the people that have the 10th house lord in the 10th house, and based off the sign and the planet in this house, how it may influence things in career. Now, if you have the 10th house lord in the 11th house, okay, what's the 11th house? The 11th house deals with the outside world, the public arena. It deals with people that you don't know, places that you don't know. It deals with social media, different forms of communication, technology. This is a spiritually inclined house. It deals with abstract thinking. It deals with aliens and UFO. It deals with things outside of this reality. This is why people that have a lot of planets in this house, it's hard to condense them to programs and things in this reality. They probably come off a little weird, or they are strong, free-spirited, abstract individual thinkers, because these energies influence them to go beyond what they're familiar with, right? Now, if you have the 10th house lord in this house, in the 11th house, all right? Now, the 11th house, because it deals with, it's an air house too. It's an air house, so it deals with relationships, deals with people, okay? When you have the 10th house lord in this house, regardless of what you do in career, the mission is going to come down to doing things for the environment, for the group, period. 11th house deals with groups, environments. A lot of people with this alignment, 10th house and 11th house, they're going to get into charity work. They're going to get into something that deals with a group. You may be a part of a group that's doing something for a bigger cause. You may be a strong component into starting or holding something together that helps to feed others. So with the 10th house and 11th house, you may manifest popularity or notoriety based off your relationships. You may be known for knowing a lot of people. You may be the plug in some type of shape or form. In some type of shape or form, you the plug. You might be a sneaker plug. You might be the weed plug. You might be the spiritual plug. You might be the motherfucking money plug. You a plug in some type of shape or form with the 10th house lord in the 11th house. AKA, you always manifest situations to be the bridge to connect to, the middleman to connect to for somebody to obtain or manifest something. Once you start peeping these situations in your life, once you start and the 10th house, 11th house, the 10th house lord and 11th house gonna make you think this. There's gonna be times in your life you start realizing like, damn, these motherfuckers can't do that if they don't know me, or if they didn't need me, or this shit can't happen if I'm not a part of it. Or this shit can't transpire if I don't bring these resources and these tools. Now that starts to mold maybe how you can make money, how you could put a service, how you could create services in your life, create stability. But when we talk about mission, once you develop security, stability, once it comes into mission, it's gonna be things that's dealing with more charity work. It's gonna be things dealing with like this is the type of like people with this alignment is like people that, okay, they might have got rich, but now it's like, I want to build community centers in the top 50 most poorest neighborhoods in America. I need to build community centers that have this. I'm going to do interviews with counselors to make sure, kids with broken families are getting the help for their mental health at young ages before they enter adulthood. These are people with 10th house and 11th house. They want to create some form of structure, stability, in a group environment in different areas in the world. They may not even be a part of these areas, and they're connecting and bringing their influence to other areas. You feel me? I don't know shit about Detroit, but with this alignment, I'd build a community center in Detroit. Just because I know Detroit is one of the biggest hoods. So I'm bringing my influence to bring stability to a whole nother place I ain't really familiar with, but I know they could use it. I know Detroit, I know the hoods of Detroit could use a lot of the shit the hoods in the Bronx could use, or the Bronx itself could fucking use. So how do you take what is it you experience in your reality, within your relationships, and you use that to build something out in the 11th house? So if you have this alignment You know, any strong influences you have to build some type of communities. You know, you may be influenced to build a spiritual community here. Anything you do with community takes off here. So you having a spiritual community for this. You know, at one point before I started teaching astrology, I used to teach about health and wellness. So it's like with a person teaching health and wellness, if you I remember I wanted to make a fasting community, you know, a Facebook fasting community. Person with 10th house or an 11th house, you making a community for people that want to be among people fasting. You making a community for people that's trying to transition into a healthier lifestyle. You dealing with anything with community work, that shit spiritually God sprinkles a little bit of spiritual power in that shit for you. So the people in your groups and communities you may be a part of help you to excel, bring up opportunities to gain stability, or the ones that you create are, I don't want to say easy, but you deal with less resistance trying to build that tribe up or get the value of what you're trying to do in that community to others, you know. So you don't want to never sleep on none of these ideas if you have the 10th house or an 11th house. Don't sleep on none of these ideas for groups you want to build for others, communities you want to build for others. You know, there was something you were struggling and you want to make sure you're in a space where the people that you were struggling this shit with, where they could connect to you and you could be a resource and they could reach you. And then if you're not reachable, they have other people in the group they could reach. This starts to become the mission for the 10th house lord in the 11th house. Also helping people to become more aware about things outside of their what they may be familiar with. So this is what comes into spiritual teachings, things about society. These people are 10th house lord and 11th house, especially if they got significant planets in here. If they got more planets, like the 10th house lord. So the 10th house lord could be whatever. That's already going to be one planet in there. But if they got a bunch of other planets in there, people with strong 11th house planets, they start to you get passionate about putting people onto shit. You know, that it's almost like an 8th house type of energy. You know, you get passionate about enlightening people about things in society that you feel like they may not be aware about. So it almost plays out like 10th house on the 8th house. I always say Aquarius and Scorpios have so much similarities, but I was saying that for so long until just randomly one day I'm like, yo, what the fuck? They have sharing influences. They both have Uranus influences. But if you know me, I say that shit a lot. So Aquarius is co-ruled by Uranus. Uranus is exalted in Scorpio. So that's why these are two signs that are very individual. Most of the time they're free thinkers. A lot of the time they're going to change the environment or be changed by it. So when you date a Scorpio or date Aquarius, either there's going to be some things that you probably ain't believing or weren't into, and you adapted to that shit knowing that Aquarius, dating that Aquarius or dating that Scorpio. You feel me? They gonna transform you in some type of shape or form. In some type of way. You thought we wasn't gonna have sex in the first 3 dates. Scorpio Aquarius gonna change that. You thought you don't give head. Scorpio Aquarius gonna change that. You thought astrology was some bullshit. You thought that shit about your sun sign was some bullshit. Okay, hang around Aquarius, Scorpio long enough, they're gonna change that. You thought you needed to work at your job forever. You're gonna retire at your job. There ain't really nothing else you could do with your life. This and the third. You was pretty solid on that thought. You was like, all right, I got 25 more years, 30, 35, 45 more years till I retire. My pension, my 401k. Scorpio Aquarius come in your life, change, shift all that shit. Shift all of that shit. Fuck wrong with you? You ain't know you got some inner abilities to pull out? You don't know you could bring transformation into your life? Yeah, you're not fighting for it. Uranus, you're not fighting for it. You're not trying to get your power. You letting them motherfuckers at your job keep you complacent. That's the problem. They done programmed your ass. It's hard to program a Scorpio. It's hard to program an Aquarius. They got Uranus energy. That shit is rebellious. Is erratic. It's individual. If you're going to program or persuade Aquarius or Scorpio, you most likely waving something that they individually like or something that they passionate about in their face to get them along. You ain't just bringing your own personal ideals about some shit. Hell the fuck no. Hell the fuck no. And I'm a whole Libra Scorpio, so I'm passionate about relating individual shit. Scorpio don't give a fuck about relating it. They just got their own individual shit that they into. Libras just be hype about relating it. So I get hype about relating the passionate shit to the point that sometimes, you know, I realize, you know, I'm the first person to realize having Libra energy that not everybody be into what you be into. Like, we get that harsh. Libras and Gemini, we learn that lesson hard. We learn that lesson very harsh. And Libra risings too. Libra sun, moon risings, but really the rising, probably even more than the suns. And motherfucking Geminis, suns and moons, Venus and Libras, Venus in the 7th house. We learn that lesson so harsh that people don't be giving a fuck about the things we like at times because we just want to connect and relate it. We cry about that shit sometimes. I was hype as shit when I made this song. I was going to send it to my best friend. I was waiting for them to tell my ass. Libras, we be doing shit knowing what people going to tell us. We ask questions knowing what the answer going to be because we just want to hear that shit. So, we know people better than they know they fucking selves. So, once we got some shit we want to relate and it ain't related and it ain't accepted like that, that crush us. That crush a Libra. That crushes a Libra. You got a Libra partner, you want to get them annoyed, you want to get mad, you want to get them frustrated, you want to get on their nerves, give them act mad uninterested in everything they interested in that day. I was going to make a TikTok today talking about the perks of dating every sign, but by the time I started making some YouTube videos and planning to go on live, I was never gonna have a time to make it. And when I started thinking about what I'm going to say for each sign, I was like, Aries going to be, the perk about dating an Aries going to be that they not going to force nothing on you in the relationship to do anything because they don't give a fuck about what you be doing. They not going to force you to do anything with them because they not going to want you to force shit upon them. Like, you feel me? They're not going to force you to go to this restaurant with them. They're not going to force you to do this, that, and the third because eventually in their head it's like, I don't want this motherfucker feeling like I owe him now. I don't want people feeling like I got to do something back. You feel me? So motherfucking Aries, if you got an Aries partner, you can act real uninterested with everything they talking about, everything they into. They not gonna give a fuck. They like, oh, well, I guess they in their own zone. I guess they got better things on their mind. Do that to a Libra. We on the phone with our best friend talking about think this relationship ending. Think I made a wrong decision cuffing this girl. She don't give a fuck about anything I like. Ain't this a bitch? I can't. What the fuck I'm gonna relate to her about? Fuck I'm gonna relate to you about? Damn. So that's the lessons we be having to learn as Libras. We gotta learn to keep certain shit to ourselves. And it's like until you build that brand or that business or that you finally put your music out, let people hit you up first. But once you start going to other people like, look what I got, look what I'm about to do, let me relate this to you. I'm so passionate, excited about this. You like it too, right? It's cool, right? It's a good idea, right? Libras, air signs, you gonna get hurt a lot in life. But a Libra write a hit song, and if they girlfriend and they best friend don't like that shit ain't coming out. That's why I be telling a lot of Libras, stop you gotta jump into Aries energy. You can't be considering everything everybody says about your shit or you gonna stop a lot of shit just because your friend and your partner said that shit, Libra. You gotta learn how to do a lot of shit on your own. Just let them, oh shit, okay, I see you started a new YouTube page. Why you ain't tell me? Okay, you started a new diet? Shit, why you ain't telling me that? You gonna start hearing that because people expect you to relate shit to them. When the Libra air sign some shit, don't tell you some shit before they do it, that shit kind of just throw you off a little bit. Okay, all right. Okay, I see a bunch of fruits in the house. You going on a diet? No, that's just Taco Tuesday. What the ground beef at? It's like, oh, okay, you going on a diet? Okay, I thought you would have told me some shit like that before Taco Tuesday. I thought you would have told me that shit the weekend. All right, I'll be back. I'm going to the store. Go get me some ground beef and some shell tacos. Motherfuckers be surprised. So, but 10th house Lord in the 11th house. That's 10th house Lord in the 11th house, man. As far as mission. And last but not least, 10th house Lord in the 12th house. Venus and Libra fall in love all the time. This is why Venus and Libra can't talk to y'all. Venus and Libra can't. You got to make sure you talk to one person at a time. I know motherfuckers be having. All right, this is number one. I want number one. This who I want to be with right here. But if number one don't act right, okay, we got number two right here. All right, number two ain't that bad. Ain't too shabby. If number one wasn't in the picture, there'll be a good number one. All right, now if I can't fall back on number two, we got number three right here. Yeah, number three right here. I'm gonna keep. Yeah, let me make sure I just keep sending them good morning texts just to keep them right there, just in case. So that's modern dating today. That's modern dating today, motherfuckers. You think use a number, use a number. Act right if you want to move up on the list or not. Venus and Libra can't. You better not be dating like this, Venus and Libra, because this is how you get caught up. You start liking 1 through 5 all the same. You start liking 1 through. That bitch gave me a cramp. You start liking 1 through 5 all the fucking same. You start treating 3 like they 1, but you forgot that's 3. Like, oh damn. I was supposed to only see her twice this month. This is our 4th link up. She low key skipping number 2 right now, but all right. Let me just. I'll get it all balanced together by chilling with all 3 this weekend. Let me just chill with all 3 this weekend. Like, so Venus and Libra, because you start feeling like you owe some shit to everybody you're dealing with. It's like, motherfucker, like, you need to date one person at a time, Venus and Libra. Bring all that confusion into your life. Don't lost your damn minds, right? So that's that. And last but not least, damn, this cramp won't go away. Last but not least, 10th house Lord in the 12th house. 10th house Lord in the 12th house. All right. So career obviously may deal with things dealing with teaching, dealing with putting yourself in either counseling positions, to be a listening to ear to others in some type of shape or form. People connect to you and get a form of release. If you got the 10th house Lord in the 12th house, a lot of you may be popular and known for something dealing with creativity, with fashion, your music, your art, your belief system. You may be known because of your belief system. So you ain't really teaching spirituality. You ain't teaching astrology or none of that shit, you know, but on your Instagram, you be lighting sage. You got a motherfucking dream catcher tattoo on your chest. You got the Ankh tattoo on your chest and shit. You got locks. Y'all know the spiritual woman makeup. Locks, tattoos. I'm playing. But shit, your presentation comes off. You ain't teaching none of the spiritual shit, but you start developing notoriety. That's how people start to see you. 10th house Lord in the 12th house. Like, I know they into some spiritual shit. They always lighting sage on their stories and shit. Always reposting shit about zodiac signs and shit. You know? So people start to see you like that. It don't matter what the fuck you do for career or whatnot. Your belief systems and all of that shit starts to build what you're known for, your notoriety. On top of your artistic endeavors. 10th house Lord in the 12th house. The thing here is the 12th house don't deal with stability. It deal with the subconscious, your imagination, your dreams. But then the 10th house deal with stability. So what happens here, this person starts to feel like, damn, I need to take my art, my belief system, my music, my creativity in some type of shape or form and brand that and make that as a business. But that shit don't seem practical. That shit don't seem like something that could bring stability. Who pays their music? Who pay their bills off music? Who pay their bills off selling art? Who pay their bills off YouTubing about spirituality? A lot of people. A lot of people, 10th house Lord in the 12th house. But whenever you deal with 12th house energies, it make you take a leap of faith. When you deal with Pisces 12th house energies, you're going to be influenced to take leaps of faith. Let me not say Pisces energy. Excuse me. The Pisces naturally takes the leaps of faith. So it's really the opposite. Virgo need to learn from Pisces how to take the leap of faith. Pisces takes too much leaps at times. It's like, we don't need to take another one, Pisces. Like, the last one was good. We all right where we at right now. Just like, okay, all right, I was about to risk it all again. So the Pisces don't need to take the motherfucking the leap of faith. It's more so the opposite sign, the sister sign, Virgo, that need to look at Pisces sometimes and be like, yo, I'm playing it too safe. I need to take leaps of faith. It's people with those 12th house placements. So if we looking at the 10th house lord in the 12th house, this is why you got influences like, yo, you need to take a leap of faith with your art, with that creativity. Ain't nobody saying quit your job and just invest in that, but shit, you need to make sure you put in some energy working to that shit in the side, because your whole life is going to have an influence of dealing with creativity or that thing that's heavy in your imagination and branding it and establishing it into reality in some type of shape or form. And the most fulfilling thing when it comes into mission, when we talk about your 10th house is your mission, when you got the 10th house lord in the 12th house, your mission starts to develop into creating that tribe amongst what you creatively into or your belief system. Because the 12th house deals with connecting to the collective. So if you got the 10th house lord in there, what you do for career, part of the legacy you leave is going to be stamped by how you help put a tribe together, how you help spark a tribe or a grouping or a collective in some type of shape or form, how you pushed maybe one of your beliefs out, how you pushed maybe your art or creativity out in some type of shape or form, and that started a following, that started a community, that started a group. But it takes leaps of faith to get there. It takes leaps of faith to get there. Now, guys, if you have this alignment, this is a sextile. This is a sextile. So the 10th house lord is the 10th house, the 12th house is 2 houses away. We know houses that's 2 houses away and signs that's 2 signs away. These are harmonious alignments. These are sextiles. So we got the 10th house dealing with social status, stability, and you got the 12th house dealing with your imagination. So if you have this alignment, you are here to place your imagination into the 10th house in some type of shape or form. You are here to place your belief system into the 10th house in some type of shape or form. You are here to embrace being the teacher of things in your 12th house into the 10th house. A lot of people with this alignment are teachers with art. So a lot of people, 10th house, 12th, these are your instructors at the paint and sip. These are, producers that make courses or shit for young producers to learn how to make music. This is people that love showing other people how to make natural products. You showing other people, you teaching people how to create. 10th house lord in the 12th house. That starts to become mission here. All right. So, but you got to make that jump though. You got to make that jump. You got to make that jump. There's really no other way to say that shit there. You got to make that jump. The house you have Pisces in, sometimes we got to jump in that house a lot. We got to jump in that house. So you have Pisces in a house that it resonates. That jump ain't probably going to be that hard at times. But if you have Pisces in certain houses, it's going to be like, damn, this kind of make no... It's almost like when you jump, you scared to jump in that area because you might have jumped before and the shit ain't work out. So you scared of people looking at you unrealistic. I got Pisces in my second house. So my whole life, when it came to like my value system and shit, that shit, I was... Like, this shit didn't start yesterday. I always been into spirituality and the metaphysics and been intrigued by that shit. And kind of always knew when it came into career, I wasn't about to be restricted and limited in no ways. Unless I knew I was going to have to get rich or die trying. And I knew in some type of shape or form, you feel me, I was going to have to keep a strong belief system here. And then to get to where I'm at now, I had to take a bunch of fucking jumps with Pisces in that second house. Now, this is a sextile, but at the same time, the second house deal with reality, just like the 10th house deal with reality. So a lot of the things I did or started to work on, especially building this brand that I'm doing, or just, getting some knowledge out about the things I'm learning, that seems very unrealistic to a lot of people in my fucking life. That seems what I'm doing right now seems very unrealistic to a lot of people in my life. And that can't be something that I hold on to while I'm building what I'm building. So this is what you may experience, 10th house lord in the 12th house. You may experience shit like that. You're finally having the courage to invest or pour into something that's been on your imagination, a creative endeavor or whatnot, or expressing something with your belief system or branding something with a belief system, and based off of how much influences, how much other people don't resonate with it, this, that, and the third, that starts to deter you from how you look at what you're building. So you have to be careful of that. You have to be careful of that, all right? That you don't cling on too much to what the fuck is going outside, because trust me, with this alignment, there's going to be so much people that appreciate. You're going to build so much fruitful relationships with people out in the world that appreciate you putting your art out there. You were so reluctant to put your music out there until, and then somebody emailed you like, hey man, I just heard your song on YouTube. I had a real fucked up week. I just wanted to reach out to you, tell you how much this song made me feel better. And it's not until you start getting messages like that, you start realizing like, why the fuck do I pay attention to people in my life that don't understand what I'm doing? Why the fuck do I care that much when I just had this impact on somebody else? When I just made this connection through somebody else through this, you know? So just throwing that out for my 10th house lord in the 12 houses. That's what's going on. I just want to talk about 10th house influences tonight. I got some more stuff I got to get up on the tube today, but I was like, let me just squeeze this live in while I'm making some other vids, y'all. Okay, remember, y'all, it's Taurus season. We're getting ready for a full moon in Scorpio. So we really want to be in cool, calm, collective energies right now. There's about to be a lot of things that can transform us if we're not willing to let go. Keep that in mind. That's one of the most major themes about this energy we about to jump into. So we're only one sign away. The moon is entering Libra tomorrow. If we walk into this weekend, if we walk into this motherfucking weekend, we walk into this full moon in Scorpio, and we are too proud or we're too invested to let things that are past go, to drop certain things that's heavy on the heart, to understand what attachments and habits in our life are not supportive. These are things that you have to cling on to. I've mentioned many times I have a toxic relationship with weed. I have a very toxic relationship with that motherfucker. I have a lot of alignments in my chart, being the sun in Libra, Venus in Libra, Venus in the 8th house, Neptune in the 12th house. I have a lot of alignments that will make me feel comfortable with addictions and attachments. You might too. But this is one thing, you know, I've been listening to a whole bunch of self-development shit to just help me deal with staying disciplined. And this one YouTuber is the last message I want to leave y'all with. This one YouTuber, I'm going to talk about Jupiter and Aries. I want to talk about Jupiter and Aries today, but I'm going to talk about it tomorrow. I could barely get any fucking sleep last night, so it was hard to get a lot of things out today. But I was listening to this one YouTuber, and he's talking about, his whole channel is about helping motherfuckers that don't want to smoke weed, not fucking smoke weed. So I've been listening to his messages a lot, and he made this video. It says, Eric Thomas. Y'all know the motivational speaker, Eric Thomas. You gotta want it so bad that you can't breathe. Him. Somebody asked him about marijuana, and he said, you know, it ain't so much about why I don't do it, because he don't smoke weed. He's like, it ain't so much about why I don't do it, but what's the good in it? It ain't about, I don't not smoke marijuana because it's bad. I don't look at it like bad, but where's the good in it? So I say that to say, guys, moving into this full moon, this lunar eclipse, look at the things that you're connected to and attached to. You may not look at it like it's a bad thing. You may not look at it like it's a negative thing in your life. There may be certain things you wanted to accomplish, manifest in your life, and you kind of were still able to do it, or you feel like you're still on track or on pace to do it. But if you look at that person, place, or thing and understand it ain't really a good thing, it's really in the middle, then that's something we need to observe going through this shift. We got to be able to get shit out. If you ain't necessarily deeming it a bad thing, but it ain't necessarily a good thing, it's just taking up space. It's just taking up space in your life. Person, place, or thing. All right, y'all? So that's the type of thinking that helped me release it. Start asking myself, what do I need to smoke for right now? Right. So this is why I stay transparent about any addictions, attachments I have. I ain't finna be no, you feel me? We teaching spirituality here, so we can't talk about them things from transparent level. What we really talking about right now? You feel me? So yeah, guys, take that with you. It could be certain relationships you're holding on to a little too much, but you know that relationship ain't bringing the best out of you. You know staying at this job ain't bringing the best out of you. You know clinging on to, trying to fight for your ex that don't really want you, ain't showing no effort to be with you. You know that ain't doing nothing good for you. You know, all these things we're attached to. This is the time to work ourselves out of these holes. You know, universe is supporting that. But it's going to be hard, but trust me, the days that you feel like giving in, universe is in full support of people that's trying to work on that spiritual muscle to break attachments right now. All right, guys? All right, guys? So, y'all already know the vibes. I love y'all. See y'all tomorrow.